fought against the dark. In the streets they left their mark. In the alleys whispers grow. Hooligans strike their hidden blow. Walls get painted with the truth. Revolution in the hands of youth. Jeff and the hooligans carve their fate, shouting till the morning late. Power shifts when crowds unite. In the chaos rides the light. Corporate suits try to control. Hooligans aim for heart and soul. Jeff's words light the spark, echoing through the park. From the suburbs to the slum, hooligans beat their drum. Jeff leads the fearless crew, turning red, white, and blue. Jeff and the hooligans carve their fate, shouting till the morning late. Power shifts when crowds unite. In the chaos rides the light.
What is up, hooligans, and happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. And I appreciate all of you guys being here. If you're over on Rumble, please hit that like button. More likes equals more hooligans. Going to read through the schedule really quick, and then we will be checking on all the chats. So let me know how you hooligans are doing today. Then, of course, we'll be getting things started. First, I want to give a huge shout out to Slenderella. Thank you so much for the PayPal. I really appreciate all the support. Thank you, Slenderella. We'll be starting off this live with a video titled White Smoke Signals Election of New Pope. And we got a video we're going to play alongside that back to back. The second one's titled President Trump on Pope Leo the, I don't know what it is, the 14th maybe? Either way. He says, to have a pope from the U.S. is a great honor. Then we got a video that is titled Cursive Comeback, Why Some States Are Pushing for Penmanship. Apparently they're going to bring cursive writing back. I thought COVID killed cursive writing. It was racist or something like that, but guess not. They're going to bring it back. Then we got a video titled Waters Fillet, DEI statue in heart of New York City. What is this celebrating? This is a Jesse Waters video. They're talking about that statue of some unknown black woman they put up in New York City. I guess it doesn't actually portray anybody. It's supposed to be a portrayal of all of us, I guess. Then we got a video titled Former President Biden speaks on Hyena Harris's election loss on The View, blaming sexism for her loss. It's not because she's an idiot. No, it's sexism. Then we got a video we're going to play back to back. First one's titled Senator John Kennedy, the Biden admin spent money like it was water. And the second video is titled Kennedy versus Cash. Both those are good videos. Then we got a couple videos that, well, let me see. Well, yeah, this next video is going to be really interesting. It's titled Carmelo Anthony's representative says his family believes he's innocent. This is the 17-year-old that stabbed the other kid in the heart at a track meet. Yeah, they think he's innocent. Then we got a video titled Chaos at Columbia, Anti-Israel Protesters Arrested After Storming the Library. There's more than 100 protesters and 80 of them got arrested. Then we got a video titled Florida Highway Patrol Bust Border Crossers Using the New Law. Florida is actually cracking down on illegals. I wish that we had that same stuff going on across the nation, but Florida's going to be the first state without illegals in it. Then we got two interesting videos that could kick off the protest. First one's titled Judge Declares Mistrial on Ex-Officer Who Shot Patrick Lyoya. I have the body cam footage from what happened to Patrick Lyoya posted on Discord and on jeffmaclive.com. So if you want to refresh on how Patrick Lyoya died, that video is on both platforms. Then the next video is titled Emotions Run High After Three Former Officers Acquitted in Tyree Nichols Murder Trial. Tyree Nichols is the individual who was stopped in a traffic stop. He fled the police, and when they caught him, they beat him until he died. I have that footage as well if you need a reminder of what happened to Tyree Nichols. That's an article. It's got 4 different videos. The second video is the one you want to watch. I have both well, that whole article there posted on Discord as well as jeffmaclive.com. If you need a reminder of what happened to Tyree Nichols, that footage is pretty graphic. Then we got video titled "Woman Arrested After Raccoon Named Chewy Was Found with a Meth Pipe in the Driver's Seat During a Police Stop." For real. Yeah. Then the last little bit of the news is Lefties losing it. This one's titled "Cringe Boston Counselor Pleads Guilty to Federal Corruption." Of course, it's a plethora of videos of lefties losing their marbles. Then we'll be getting into the fun stuff. We'll be opening today's door of the advent calendar that was sent to us by Hair Juicer. And then we got our two funny videos of the day. First one's titled "Inner Monologue Be Like," and that one's provided by Stoner. And our official funny video of the day is titled "Taken the Musical." Let me see who posted this so I can write it down really. It was also Stoner, so Stoner provided both videos today. What a badass. All of that's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see how you hooligans are doing today. What is up, everyone over on jeffmaclive.com? What's up, Damsel? What's up, Josh1776? What's up, Snooks? What's up, Russell? What's up, Astrohammer? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate all of you guys being on the website. What is up, everyone over on Rumble? Snooks, you were first today. I appreciate everything you do for us, Snooks. What's up, Tony Rez? Happy freedom. What's up, Pumpkin? What's up, MU? Happy freedom, you hooligans. What's up, Elisa? Appreciate you being here. Let me see. What's up, Rappy? Happy freedom. What's up, Too Old to Care? Appreciate you sliding through. Make sure we get everybody. What's up, Mr. Satan? What's up, Cricket Kiss? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Silver Wolf? You're omnipresent. Appreciate you. Let me see. What's up, Tree Herder? What's up, Metal Mouth? Metal Mouth, I forgot to check the damn email. I will do that. I'll try and do it during the live, but happy freedom to you. Just remembered. What's up, Rappy? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Appeal to Heaven? Appreciate you being here. Let me see. I think we got everyone. What's up, Shroomish? Happy freedom. You hooligans are welcome. Hit that like button. See if you can get us on Rumble's front page. And what is up, everyone over on Kick? What's up, Zeus Boot? Happy freedom to you. And what is up, everyone over on Twitch? What's up, Crazy Times? What's up, Master Voltaire? What's up, Tony Rich? Happy freedom to you. Let's see. Master Voltaire, whatever happened to Paul Kessler's killer? I don't know who that is. I will look them up. If I have any info, I will let you know. What is up, everyone over on the communism platform? Mr. Satan, you were first over here, and you're omnipresent. I appreciate you. What's up, Toy Mafia? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Cheeky Chops? What's up, Tim Mack? What's up, Jeff Reynolds? Happy freedom. Silver Wolf, you are truly omnipresent. Appreciate you. What's up, Watchman? Happy freedom. And what is up, everyone over on X? Happy freedom to you, hooligans. All right, let's go ahead and get into things. Like I said, we're going to be starting this first video here titled "White Smoke Signals Election of New Pope." We're going to play the first two videos back to back. The second video is titled "President Trump on Pope Leo I think it's the 14th, saying to have a pope from the U.S. is a great honor." So let's go ahead and get this pulled up real quick. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you hooligans really quick, we have these Trump is right about everything t-shirts. Now, this design was created by Alistair, and Alistair is a badass in just about everything he does. So I will be posting his link in all of the chats for you hooligans to have the opportunity to hire him for your creative needs, because if you think it, he can create it. Now, this design does come in shirts for men, shirts for women, tank tops for men, tank tops for women, pullover hoodies, zipper hoodies, coffee mugs, dog tags, and we even made long sleeve shirts out of this design. Today I got on the Stars and Bars hooligan badge, or the Stars and Stripes rather. Either way, we got lots of items over in the merch store. I'll be dropping all the links in the chats while we're watching this first video.
After less than 2 days and 4 votes, the Catholic Church has a new leader, and he's an American. Just about an hour ago, white smoke, as you saw, started coming from the Sistine Chapel, signaling the members of the papal conclave had reached a 2/3 majority in choosing the Catholic Church's 267th pontiff. Welcome to the news at noon. I'm Justin Core. After 5 votes, the 133 cardinals came to a majority agreement, and the world was introduced to 69-year-old Pope Leo XIV, formerly Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost. He's the first American pope in the 2,000-year history of the Catholic Church. There he is making his appearance on the balcony. Spent his career ministering in Peru. We're still learning much more about the new pope, and we're going to have the latest coming up on the news at 4.
Okay, like I said, we got 2 videos about the pope there. This next one's with President Trump. I believe this just happened 2 hours ago. All right, this is titled President Trump on Pope Leo the 14th. To have the Pope from the U.S. is a great honor. Now, in this video, President Trump's going to be taking questions from the press, but he's also going to be talking about the Pope. So make sure you hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
What greater honor could there be? That we were a little bit surprised, very happy. It's just a great, absolutely great honor.
Is this the first of many, Mr. President, the first of many trade agreements we can expect you to announce here at the White House?
Say it again.
Is this the first of many trade agreements
You gotta move it to full camera.
here at the White
So
House?
we'll do others for the White House. We're working on 3 of them right now, trade agreements. We're doing 3. And you just left Tiger. You saw Tiger. Fantastic, great champion, great guy. And but you know we'll be doing a lot of the signings. They would like to do them in the Oval Office.
Mr. President, are you sure that the UK will take American chlorinated chicken? That deal has not been done yet.
What is that?
Are you sure that the UK will take American chlorinated chicken? That deal has not been done yet.
We're changing all of that, but we have it both ways. You know, we have it both ways.
Mr. President, are you still going to make an earth-shattering announcement?
We'll have somebody great. I really thought he was terrific, but we are doing so many different things right now that we couldn't be really focused on it. He's a wonderful guy. He's going to have a great future, maybe with us.
Who are you guys on it?
What's next?
Mr. President, are you planning to meet the Pope in the near future? Mr. President, have you met him before?
They've already called.
They've already called. When is that? Do you have a time in mind?
They have already spoken to us, and we'll see what happens. But again, to have the Pope from the United States of America, that's a great honor. That's a great honor.
Sir, have you met him before? Sir, have you?
I'm watching, and they said he's from America. I said that's great.
Are you going to
Jack it up all the way.
Have you met him before?
Vladimir Putin and Saudi Arabia next week?
I don't think so, but we're having very good conversations. Very, very good.
The violence in India and Pakistan, Mr. President, is that going to derail your country?
Any thought of whether or not to temptation to El Salvador and that they could be foreign
I haven't heard about it. I haven't heard about
But
it.
you didn't detonate this.
I mean, I haven't heard of it. Actually, I hope not. Thank you.
I like how at the end there it looks like President Trump's playing peekaboo with the press. They're a bunch of idiots. The way they're like fighting all over each other and stuff. Yesterday we covered a video with Pam Bondi and Cash Patel talking about how they had a historic bust of child predators, and after they walked away without taking questions, the press was all bitching about it and just complaining and stuff. I don't know. I don't know if it's liberal press or they're just immature. I'm not sure what it is, but act like a bunch of dumbasses. Anyways, next up we got Cursive comeback, why some states are pushing for penmanship. Now, they did away with Cursive a couple of years ago, and I don't remember why. I know it was something stupid. It was some stupid reason, and a lot of people speculated that it was because our Constitution and Bill of Rights is written in cursive, and if they could dumb everyone down enough, they wouldn't be able to read their own rights. I don't know, but sounds like they're bringing it back. Either way, it's coming up next. First, we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about the new Pope, as well as President Trump taking some questions and giving his statement about the new Pope. What's up, Hair Juicer? Happy freedom to you. Russell, I never thought I would see an American Pope. I didn't realize we didn't have one, that this guy was the first one. Somebody posted an interesting article in Discord kind of saying that this guy was protecting pedophiles or something in the past, or he was at least accused of that. I don't really know. I don't know what the Pope does or anything like that. There's not really anybody that stands between you and God, so I don't understand the whole point of the Pope. But either way, he's the guy, and he's from Chicago. So I don't know if he like carries a Glock with a switch and an extended magazine or exactly how that works. He's from Chirac. So I heard somebody say he has dual citizenship or something like that. He's from Peru or something. I don't know. Here, Juicer, I didn't know the Pope got to choose their own name. They do? Oh, man, he could have chose a funny name. Why'd he go with what he got? I'm trying to think. I want to think of a funny name. Something ridiculous, you know? Cricket Kiss, the Pope is supposed to talk to God and his inspirational words to lead and shepherd. I guess. I just don't know why people care. Like, I just don't understand why people care. I guess the Pope and the Vatican used to have a lot of power, and now they're just kind of tradition. Like, they don't actually hold that much power, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not Catholic. What's up, Nana? Happy freedom. What's up, Dutton? Happy freedom to you. Pumpkin, the Pope is just a man. Yeah. Yes, he is. Cricket Kiss, new Pope slammed on Trump too. Yeah, I've heard that. I don't know a whole lot about this guy. I'm kind of taking a crash course ever since he was selected. I see a lot of people posting stuff. I don't know how to validate any of it. He's so new. He became a Peruvian citizen in 2015. I heard the opposite like 2 hours ago, that he became an American citizen in 2015. Crazy. I don't know. Break a leg, tarred press. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the press. They're a bunch of idiots. They act like... You ever try to have like your mom or somebody record something and you go back to watch the playback and whoever you had hold the camera talk through the whole damn video like they didn't realize it was recording audio on top of video? That's what this new press reminds me of. Because they're just like, blah, 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 blah. It's like, we can hear you, dumbass. Like, the point of being the camera guy is to be silent. I don't know. What's up, Energy Woman? Happy freedom to you. Kevin, you're going fishing? Well, good luck to you. And happy freedom to you, Kevin. Yeah, Master Voltaire. I'll look into it in a second. What's up, Vinny C? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Jim? Happy freedom to you. What's up, TJ? Happy freedom. Another woke pope. I keep seeing a lot of people saying that. What's up, Sticks? Happy freedom. Xterra, he was born in Chicago. So he became a dual citizenship in Peru. That's what I'm saying. He's probably got a Glock on him. Xterra Pope Pritzker, just what we needed. Yuck. No, not that guy. Not that guy. What's up, Tony Rich? Happy freedom. Tony Rich. American Pope is interesting, but not fascinating. Yeah, I don't know. Yesterday when we covered a video, they were like, maybe he'll be black. Maybe he'll be Asian. But they never said maybe he'll be American. Caught me off guard. What's up, Sam? Happy freedom to you. Heard user Pope get some? Yeah. Russell, he was born in Chicago and he registered as a Republican. It's interesting. Oh, we missed you too, Nana. What's up, Neurodivergent? Happy freedom to you. Tree herder, a pope is a pope. And that's one way not to piss everybody off. Ah, tree herder, you went the other route. You were doing good. You were doing good. And then you went straight to pissing everybody off. I'm doing my best to dance on the line. I don't, this guy is just a guy to me, but to some people they really care, and that's fine. They're welcome to it. You went the other way. You were just like, no, fuck this guy. Either way. What's up, H Big? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Steve S? Happy freedom to you. Tony Rez, why'd you go to Peru? I don't know. I don't even know where that is. It's by California, right? No, I'm just kidding. Like I said, next up, Cursive comeback. Why some states are pushing for penmanship. They are bringing back cursive writing. Like I said, they don't mention that our Constitution and our Bill of Rights are in cursive, but you know that's not important to News Nation. They're going to make claims that cursive helps in brain development in multiple different ways, and I mean, I expect that's true. And if we could figure out common sense, accountability, and not just being a dirty dumbass, you know, if penmanship's going to help that, then yes, we need this. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube. Let's get into this.
Cursive handwriting. Apparently, we are being told it is making a comeback, and I am all about this one. Remember, of course you do, those loopy letters, the flowing signatures. It's beautiful. Well, public schools are bringing them back, and states are even passing laws to make it happen. News Nation's Elizabeth Pran joins us now. I mean, Elizabeth, this is like a lost art, right? I am all for this, but where did this renewed love for it come from?
I mean, I totally agree. I remember when my daughter was just learning how to write and cursive was foreign to her, and then in 3rd grade it was introduced because we're one of the states where it's mandatory. And what's old is new, right? So science is backing this revival because if you look at some of the research that is being done, especially by the University of Washington and other institutions, basically, it's not just pretty penmanship. It's helping students in a myriad of ways. They are telling us that research shows it boosts spelling and reading comprehension. It helps kids generate ideas. It enhances their memory. It also helps simply with fine motor skills and just promoting brain development. So, Marquis, it's touching on all of these facets when they're learning, specifically when it comes to ELA, and that is fueling the comeback. It's really exciting.
Really exciting. I want my own daughter to learn that when she's old enough, too. Sure. How exactly is cursive going to get back into the classrooms, though, and be part of curriculum?
Well, you're right. So when we talked about that comeback, let's look at the trend over just the past decade. So this year, 2025, there are about 24 states that require it. And just a decade ago, it was 14. So that shows you the uptick in just 10 years' time. Students are learning it around 3rd grade, but some as old as 5th grade. And it's not regional. Look at the map. I mean, it's California to Alabama, here in Georgia, and other states such as Pennsylvania, Jersey, and Florida, just to name a few. There are others that are considering it. So we're seeing legislation getting proposed. The huge shift really came about 15 years ago. If you do have a teenager, you're familiar with Common Core. And that basically is when we saw this influx of technology. So we saw all the smart boards replacing chalkboards. We saw tablets and laptops. And now we're seeing really a combination of both, this technology and also bringing back the penmanship, the handwriting, the cursive, because really all of it helps students.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below.
Okay, bringing back cursive. We'll see if they can do it. Kids nowadays can't read, write, or do math, so we'll see how it goes with them trying to learn cursive. I don't know, they're pretty much just banging their heads off the wall at this point. It'll be interesting to see how they implement this. They should have never took it away. I wish I could remember why they took it away. It was something stupid. There was some stupid reason they took it away. Now they're going to bring it back after 4 years of, it was a couple years. I don't think it was a whole 4 years, but it was like at least 2 years of being locked down. Kids in and out of school. And then across the nation, school stats are failing. That was one of the things they brought up when they were talking about doing away with the Department of Education, is because it's not helping anybody. Americans are continuing to be stupid, I guess. And the thing is there's like a contrast, right? You could be shit at school, but still be a smart person. They call it street smarts, being smart about how to deal with people and stuff. So passing on tests and stuff doesn't necessarily have to do directly with how smart you are, but it does have to do with how disciplined you are. If you can't follow instructions, you're going to do dog shit at school. That's just the way it is. And school is really a way for people to teach you to sit down, shut up, and do what you're told, right? They train you to be an employee. The school doesn't teach you how to be an employer. You have to go to college and stuff for that, or just give it a shot. But kids are stupid, and we've been covering it for a couple of years. We got teenagers in Chicago that riot in mass just to make TikTok videos. They'll go loot stores, they'll go burn cars, they'll go do dumb shit just to try and get TikTok famous, because they're a bunch of idiots. So I don't know if bringing back cursive will help, dilute that a little bit and maybe bring back some common sense, that'd be great. Everybody needs some discipline, and these little bastards need it more than anybody. Next up is a Jesse Waters video. Waters fillets DEI statue in heart of New York City. What is this celebrating? Now, apparently they put up a new statue in New York City. It's supposedly an image of a black woman who is nobody. It's not representing a specific person. It's supposedly representing all of us. But people have noticed that her posture and look on her face is kind of negative looking. And people aren't really sure why they did that. Jesse Waters is going to sit here and make fun of it. They also do a street interview where they ask random people in New York City, what do they think of the new statue? Doesn't really seem like anybody's impressed, but either way, it's coming up next. First, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think. Should they bring back cursive writing? Sam. Happy freedom to you, Sam. When I went to college to study engineering, they made me stop using cursive. There's too many mistakes and misinterpreted notes in cursive writing. Mistakes are too costly in engineering to allow it. That's really interesting. I never thought about that. Josh 1776, holy. What's up, Mac Daddy? Happy freedom. Russell, hell, in Louisiana had to learn cursive and had to take French. You can speak French, Russell? I'm going to remember that tomorrow during the voice chat. Oh, actually, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the voice chat tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. I have something I have to do that's important tomorrow that's going to happen between like 6 and 8 o'clock, which is like the end of the live and the beginning of voice chat. So we'll see how that goes. Tomorrow will be interesting. Mag Daddy, so I guess we needed dumber people. That's why they stopped cursive. I guess. I didn't realize it was so connected, but yeah. Astra Hammer. Cursive really is the only way to write by hand. I'm not sure why they got rid of it. I mean, people still pick up a pen every now and then. Yeah. I don't remember why. It was during the lockdowns, though. Here, Juicer, we'll probably do the voice chat. It'll just be a little bit later. What's up, Free Thinker Texan? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Hidu? Happy freedom to you. Free Thinker Texan, my church has a family of 10 kids, all homeschooled. They are smarter than most adults, and they're all from 8 to 17. Sounds like they're doing a good job. Metalmouth, you like using cursive? The only time I use cursive is if I'm signing my name. What's up, Winston? Happy freedom? For the text, and they got rid of teaching cursive in the 90s? No. I had to write cursive all the way until I got out of high school. I graduated like 2017 or something like that. This is when I was supposed to graduate. Maybe it was 2007. One or the other. Probably 2007. Neurodivergent? I don't know what you're talking about. What are you asking me? Appeal to heaven. Schools should set up to the kids' skills and focus on future jobs. Well, yeah. That's if schools actually taught you something. They should teach you your taxes and your rights and how to be an employer instead of being an employee and all of that. But they just do the bare minimum. Trader, they got rid of it, brought it back, got rid of it again. Yeah, that's probably what happened. And now we're in the middle of bringing it back. And in a couple years, we'll do away with it again. Tree herder, they use computers as an excuse to get rid of it. I could see that. Neurodivergent, do you raid out at the end of the stream? Looking for a channel to raid that will raid out when done. Viva's stream. I don't know how to do that. Neurodivergent. I would, but I never understood the point of raiding. I'll have to look into it. I don't know why the last couple days I'm sitting down to go live and then all of a sudden I get like hair in my throat. Can't clear my throat. For the Texan kids were getting sloppy and teachers couldn't read it. Oh, I could definitely see that as a problem. Tony Rez, I can still write in cursive. I can't read it, but I can. I can write in cursive. I have trouble reading other people's handwriting in cursive, though. What's up, Cody? Happy Freedom. What's up, Alex King? Happy Freedom to you. My cursive is okay. I suppose for a left-handed Gen Xer, I'm left-handed too. What's up, Tactical? Happy Freedom. Tactical. My daughter-in-law is a teacher in a school, and she doesn't even know why they got rid of it. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I just remember during the lockdowns they were talking about getting rid of it, and we were all talking about it. What's up, Hooligans Island? Happy Freedom to you. What's up, ACB? Happy Freedom to you. What's up, Garden? ACB, they still have Rifle Club in a few schools? That's badass. They should do that nationwide. Sub-Zero, Happy Freedom. All right, Hooligans, we're going to move forward here. Like I said, this next one is a Jesse Waters video. It's titled, Waters Fillets DEI Statue in the Heart of New York City, saying, what is this celebrating? Now, like I said, he's going to be talking shit about this statue, but afterwards they're going to be doing some street interviews and get the opinions of local New Yorkers and see what they think of this new statue. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you, Hooligans, really quick, if you'd like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, make sure you post all of your memes over on Discord or on jeffmaclive.com. Just hop in the group chats on either platform. You'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out as we're making Saturdays more fun. Let's get this polled up. Damn Democrats. Anyways, hit that like button if you haven't already, and let's get into this.
Democrats have been on a statue jihad since the summer of love. Christopher Columbus, Teddy Roosevelt, George Washington, even Honest Abe, even Frederick Douglass all got torn down. Statues are important. They tell the American story. But the left wants to desecrate and forget our heroes and erect their own statues. In Times Square, a giant statue of a black woman just went up. And when I heard about the statue, I was open-minded. American heroes come in all shapes and sizes. Who is this woman? What did she do to get a statue? A nice one, too. Nothing. This isn't a real person. It's a DEI statue. The sculptor says she's a fictional character who's meant to contrast the statues of white men in Times Square, like Father Duffy, a World War I hero who actually accomplished something. The artist calls this fake lady a modern-day David. The contrapposto pose of her body and the ease of her stance is a subtle nod to Michelangelo's David. David was a celebration of the human form. Not sure what this statue's celebrating. If you were going to put up a fake statue, why not make her happy and healthy? Not slap a big scowl on her face and her hands on her hips. This is what they want us to aspire to be? If you work hard, you can be overweight and anonymous? They don't like real statues because it reminds them of our society's merit-based system. They want a society based on equity, where achievement isn't celebrated, equal outcomes are. So they celebrate mediocrity instead of triumph. Our nation has hundreds of statues honoring Black Americans, as we should. Harriet Tubman, Duke Ellington, Jackie Robinson, Rosa Parks. We could go on and on and on. But they've built a statue in Times Square. They could have done it for Michelle Obama or Kamala Harris or Oprah Winfrey. Usually you have to earn a statue. I'd give one to Jalen Brunson. He's carrying the Knicks on his back. Anyone but a fake lady. So, what does New York think about the DEI statue?
Do you know who this woman is?
No. I have no idea, no.
Nope. I have no idea, no.
No, I do not.
Do you have any idea of maybe something that she accomplished that got her a statue?
Something with equal rights? I don't know.
Something to do with like the black community. Part of the BLM movement.
What if I told you she accomplished nothing?
Really?
It's supposed to embody everybody. Does that make sense to you?
No.
I think I feel totally represented by that.
You do?
No.
I feel like it's a good representation for New York, especially because it's towards the BBW women and a lot
I'm
of
sorry,
people,
what's BBW?
big black, like the big black women.
What do you think about her pose? Is that a good pose?
No, I don't think she's happy to be here.
People are comparing it to Michelangelo's David. How do you think it stacks up?
She's wearing more clothes.
She's not naked. No.
Would it be better if she were?
That's a tough question.
Who do you think she voted for?
I would say Trump.
I think she voted for Trump.
Probably Kamala.
Why do you think that?
Black Lives Matter.
Probably didn't vote
Why?
because she was stuck here the whole day. She couldn't get to the polls.
How does she make you feel?
Like a baddie.
What a beautiful piece, standing in the middle of Times Square. What a beautiful time.
Jimmy Fail is the host of Fox News Saturday Night.
Okay. That one blonde girl is just an idiot. Just a full-blown idiot. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with the statue, but I bet it don't last very long. Every time they put stupid statues up like that, something bad happens to them. Then the blue team comes out and they get all butthurt, and the blue news goes out there and tells everyone a bunch of racists ripped the statue down or put graffiti on it or wiped their butt on it or whatever they did. Anyways, next up, former President Biden speaks on Hyena Harris's election loss on The View, claiming that it was sexism that beat her in the election. It was stupid. Old man Walter say something stupid like that. Either way, it's coming up next. First, we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about this DEI statue in New York. Sam, how do we know she's black? I guess they just said it. You know, it's in the title. It's got to be. I don't know. I don't know how they figured it out, Sam. Snooks, yeah, I think I found the email. I'm waiting for him to reply. Half these comments I can't say out loud. Astra Hammer, it's a tribute to diabetes. Yeah. Russell, they need to put shop back in schools. Yeah. I was the last class to take auto shop at the high school that I went to, and then they moved it to the college. Zero doesn't represent anything. No, it's a waste of money. How do you put a statue up in town? You got to go talk to the township or city hall? Like, how do you even do that? What's up, my feed? Happy freedom to you. I'm trying something really quick. Trying to figure out how to do something here. Interesting, neurodivergent. I think I see what you're talking about. I don't know. Anyways, reading through the chat, trying to figure out how to do raids here. What's up, Zupia? Happy freedom to you. Appeal to heaven, money in the sculpture. Who breaks it gets the money. That's one way to get them to take it down. Break a leg, just... You guys are mean, okay? You guys are mean. I can't even read half this stuff out loud. Shroomish art is just a way for the rich to money launder. Yeah, they were talking about that with Hunter Biden, saying he would get paid in diamonds and jewels and stuff because there's different ways you have to claim it when you come back into the country, and it's not necessarily the same as if you had cash, so then you can come here and sell it for what it's worth, and now you have the cash. Done. How long till it's struck by lightning? Yeah. Like the George Floyd mural. Go say, I love New York City because for $5 a crackhead will throw shit at anyone you tell him to. I mean, go say, you ain't got to travel all the way to New York for that, but yeah, I could see that. I heard New York smells like piss. I heard the same thing about Paris too, so I don't know. I haven't been to either. I can't even go to Paris, but one day I might go to New York. Maybe. Cody, the hefty trash bag looks what? Oh, the look works. That's terrible. I wonder how much they spent on it. That's what I want to know, because I bet it was not cheap. What's up, MC? Happy freedom. Pumpkin, I don't know. It's a sloppy statue. It is. Cody, that's not Oprah? I mean, it's close. It's close. Neurodivergent, do I have to use the actual URL or do I put like @ and then the username? Because I did see the raid menu pop up. I just got to figure out how to type in the URL. I'm going to send them all to Alex Jones after the live. I don't know if I did it right or not. Well, we'll figure it out. Either way. Pumpkin reminds me of Letitia James. That's what I was thinking too. That's what I thought it was at first. MC, all big cities smell like piss and sewage. That is unfortunate. Appeal to heaven. Notice how some big cities, when driving, you'll smell sewage plants before entering. I've only been to like 1 or 2 big cities. I've been to Chicago a lot. I never really noticed that with Chicago, but you can smell the lake, I guess, when you go into Chicago. Now I can't smell anything, but I'm working on it. Russell, New Orleans, French Quarter smells like piss. You guys need to stop peeing in the streets. That's all I know. I'm not contributing to it. Freely Texan depends on where you go in the big cities. That makes sense. What's up, Red Wagon? Happy freedom to you. Red Wagon and Diesel Exhaust 2 in Times Square. It's not good. It's not, it's not very appealing. What's up, Larry? Happy freedom to you. Hooligans Island sewage plants running their crap into the rivers. Yeah. Lone Wolf, that skinny Letitia. Yeah, I guess. Happy freedom to you, Lone Wolf. What's up, Bob? Happy freedom. Vinny C, how many baby daddies does the statue have? I don't know. I don't know yet. I'm saying they act like it's not a big deal. They're just like, oh, it's just a representation of all of us. Yeah, well, wait till it gets vandalized. Then all of a sudden it's going to be a hate crime and everything else. It's not going to be all of us anymore. Nope, it's going to be a big deal. What's up, MD Run? Happy freedom to you. All right, hooligans, we're going to get into this next one. Old Man Walter speaks on how Hyena Harris lost the election while being on The View. He is not any better than he was the last time we saw him. I don't know if he's any worse. He's just as terrible is what I'm trying to say. Either way, he's going to blame sexism. That's why Harris lost the election. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
I wasn't surprised, not because I didn't think the vice president was the most qualified person to be president. She is. She's qualified to be president of the United States of America. Right. But I was surprised. I wasn't surprised because they went the route of the sexist route, the whole route. I mean, this is a woman. She's this. She's that. I mean, it really. I've never seen quite as successful and a consistent campaign undercutting the notion that a woman couldn't lead the country and a woman of mixed race.
Yeah.
And they played that to a fairly well. In addition to that, one of the things happened, if you notice, and I'm going to be shorter, okay? I promise. Okay. She said, "Don't be Joe Biden, be short."
I said that to him.
Anyway, make a long story short, all kidding aside, think about it. Liberal democracies all across America, all across the world lost that time.
Yeah.
All across America. I think we underestimate the phenomenal negative impact that COVID had and the pandemic had on people, on attitudes, on optimism, on a whole range of things. So I was very disappointed, but I wasn't surprised.
I don't even know why they bring him out. Like, what is the point of that? Who cares what old man Walter thinks? So stupid. I think he was also on a different interview. Obviously, with that, he was on a talk show. But I think he just had a one-on-one interview, and he was saying the same thing. He's like, well, America's too sexist. They're not ready for a female president. What do you mean? You weren't saying that shit when she was holding those fake rallies, claiming that there was more people attending, like, any Harris rally than any Trump rally, which was obviously not true. And then there was people who were tracking the cell phone pings of the Harris rally and found out that they were busing the same like 8,000 people from rally to rally to make it look like it was a full arena and stuff like that. Now old man Walter's out here saying, oh no, Harris didn't win because America's sexist. Oh, okay. Well, that's crazy considering you guys don't even know what a woman is. Like, that's so stupid. Either way, next up we got two videos we're going to play back to back. First one, Senator John Kennedy, the Biden admin, spent money like it was water. It's a funny video with Senator Kennedy. And then the next one is Kennedy versus Cash. They're having a little back and forth. I think it's about the Epstein records. I'm pretty sure. I didn't write the note down, but I'm pretty sure. Either way, we're going to play both those videos back to back because it's got John Kennedy in them. But first, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about old man Walter. I know you guys missed him. Josh 76, you guys are roasting me. Come on, man. Russell, Kamala's a moron. That's why she didn't get elected. Yeah, I don't know why they're scared to admit it. I don't know how they can go out there and say, yeah, old man Walter was on a mental decline and we all lied about it, but then they still want to act like Hyena Harris is some smart person. They might as well just throw them both in the same boat. And it was made by two white guys. That figures. That white guilt built the statue. Russell, Hyena Harris isn't qualified to scrub toilets. I think you're right. She's not qualified to be a greeter at Walmart. Josh 1776, do you think the new Minnesota topless law means zipper tits walking around? Yes. Yes, I do. I think it's going to be a bunch of dudes with tits out in Minnesota walking around. Like I was saying yesterday, what do you tell your kids? You're walking down the street and some dude with his tits out just walks by. You going to tell them that's normal? That's okay? That's something that happens in life? It'd be wrong if you were like, throw a rock, but whatever. Sometimes you got to be wrong. What's up, Roy? Happy freedom to you. What's up, First Amendment? Happy freedom to you. First Amendment, I'm here for the Jeff Mack roast. Well, apparently it's underway. I didn't realize. Yeah, I appreciate you, Neurodivergent. And thank you for trying to explain the raids to me. I will try and start doing that. Rappy, most of us don't care what you think, Walter. Yeah. He was doing terrible on the interview that he was doing besides The View. I can't remember who it was with. I was gonna grab a clip, but he just wasn't saying anything. He says, it was like a bunch of that. I was like, okay, we're not playing that dumb shit. We went through 4 years of that. We're not gonna watch any more of that unless we have to. Told the carrot looks refreshed. Must have been sniffing kids a lot. They hit him with a lot of B12 before he got on there. Pumpkin, it's because you suck, Walter. Yep. Pumpkin, he had a fresh facelift. Something. For the text, I thought it was Lizzo. Nah, it's too skinny for Lizzo. Nana, where's Klaus? He's probably napping. He was sitting there snacking just a minute ago. I was hearing him crunching on his food. What's up, Lisa? Happy freedom. What's up, Plukester? Plukester, happy 141st birthday to Harry Truman. I don't know who that is, but happy birthday to that person. What's up, Torp? Happy freedom. Lisa, dropping the booty hole in the chat. Very nice. Steve S. Roast 420 for 20 minutes? Yeah, I mean, I guess. Lone Wolf dropping the boobies in the chat. Very nice. Lone Wolf, you need the dreads back. I don't know. I don't know if anybody's ready for the dread hawk. I don't know yet. We'll see. Lone Wolf, I still want to see the contents of Hunter's laptop. I think it's a felony if you watch what's on his laptop. What is this, Astro Hammer? Where is she at? 750,000. What's her name? Shiloh Hendricks or something like that. She's making a lot of money for very little effort. For the good text, oh, Truman was the president. Oh, he's 141 years old. I bet he's still collecting Social Security. What's up, C1? Happy freedom to you. Astro Hammer, don't do it. Dreads and mohawks aren't cool at all anymore. I need the dread mullet. Yeah, Russell, you need mullet dreads. Yeah, that's the best I could do is mullet dreads, you know. Either way, we're moving forward here. Like I said, we're going to play these videos back to back. This first one, Senator John Kennedy saying the Biden admin spent money like it was water. This is going to be about 5 minutes of Kennedy going off on old man Walter. And then we got a short video with Kennedy versus Cash Patel. Hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
Senator John Kennedy joins us tonight. Did you get to catch the Biden interview, the BBC Biden interview, and what did you think?
First, Rob, I don't hate anyone, and that includes President Biden. I want to be clear about that. I did watch most of the interview. The president looks very old. He looks as if his first pet could have been a dinosaur. Number two, I listened to him talk about his accomplishments, and I thought back. I spent 4 years serving with President Biden. As bad as it looked from the outside, you should have seen it from the inside. President Biden mismanaged Congress. He mismanaged COVID. He mismanaged the economy. He mismanaged inflation. He mismanaged the national debt. He mismanaged crime. He mismanaged the border. He mismanaged Afghanistan. He mismanaged the war with Hamas. He mismanaged the war in Ukraine. And he sacrificed America's energy independence. He was just exquisitely awful. I'm sorry, he was. And I watched him for 4 years, he and his people pushing on a door that was clearly marked pull. As I say, I saw what the American people saw.
The story about the pier, which has just popped up today, which is this Inspector General report. I mean, this to me is just amazing, because the only reason, again, that they had to build this pier is because he had re-election pressure in Michigan. And so they had to suddenly start pandering to Hamas, which is an evil terrorist group that controls Gaza and has indoctrinated all the people of Gaza to want to kill all the Jews and all the Americans and all the West. So they put this pier in purely to pander to get those votes, the south side of Detroit. It was $230 million and it lasted 20 days. How on earth can a government be this incompetent?
I don't think I've ever seen an administration that was more cavalier about taxpayer money.
Yeah.
They spent money like it was ditch water. I've said this before, but I think if President Biden had discovered life on Mars, he would have sent it money. The pier's a good example. Yeah. $230 million. It was operational for 20 days.
It's amazing.
Whoever made that decision for the president ought to hide his head in a bag.
I don't even know how you spend that. I don't know how you spend that much money on a pier in general, even a functioning pier. That's what's amazing to me. I want to ask you one final question. We've got some movement here.
Their favorite.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say their favorite type of spending was more.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah. Administration has a trade meeting. The current administration has a trade meeting with China set this weekend in Switzerland. Everybody's waiting to kind of get some news here. The president's hinting at good news coming. How are you feeling about the tariffs at this point, Senator?
My understanding from my conversations with them is that Secretary Bessent and Ambassador Greer are negotiating trade deals. Their objective is to try to get other nations to lower their trade barriers so we can lower ours. I talked to Ambassador Greer a couple weeks ago. I expect him to make some announcements soon about some trade deals. Yep. The meeting in Switzerland is with a representative from China. I think that's a good sign. China has no choice. Eventually it will negotiate.
The struggle.
Because of the state of its economy. Yeah, they're really hurting pups. I mean, the Chinese economy, I think it's probably really growing. They say 5%, but I think it's only 1 or 2%. They don't have a choice. I hope it happens sooner rather than later, but
yeah.
You know, you can't hurry love. Yeah. You just got to wait.
Okay. All right. Senator John Kennedy, good to see you, sir. Thank you so much. You know, everybody.
John Kennedy smoking old man Walter. Well, like I said, we got another video we're going to play with John Kennedy. This one's short. Less than a minute. This is Kennedy versus Cash Patel. Now, they're not really going at it, but they have a nice little back and forth here. Figure why not cover it. Hit that like button if you haven't already, and let's get into this.
Did Jeffrey Epstein hang himself or did somebody kill him?
Senator, I believe he hung himself in a cell in the Metropolitan Detention Center.
Are you going to release all the information about that?
Senator, we are working through that right now with the Department of Justice.
When you think you'll have it done, Cash?
I think in the near future, sir.
Like before I die?
Senator, we've been working on that, and we're doing it in a way that protects victims and also doesn't put out into the ether information that is irrelevant for production of the public, such as CSAM.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senator Reid.
Thank you very much.
All right. I like Senator Kennedy. He is honest in a humorous way. Next up, we have Carmelo Anthony's representative says his family believes he is innocent. This is the 17-year-old who stabbed another teenager at a track meet, stabbed him right in the heart, killed him, fled, was later arrested, and then asked the officer if he thought if it was self-defense or not. And then they, made $500,000 and did a little presser and kicked out the victim's dad from the presser. And then the victim's dad his house has been swatted twice now. Well, this representative says, yeah, he believes his family is innocent. Either way, it's coming up next. First, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Kennedy smoking old man Walter, and then asking Cash Patel about these Epstein records. Russell, John Kennedy's so awesome. I agree. He is fantastic. Thank you, Snooks. I appreciate the compliment. Russell, damn, Kennedy's roasting Biden. He said he believes his first pet was probably a dinosaur. There's nothing like an old man telling another old man that he looks like an old man. Love that. Love that. What's up, Bill Clay? Happy freedom to you. Zero, wouldn't a Congress full of Kennedy like him be nice? Yeah, but I don't know if we'll ever have anything like that. Joel Kerry, Kennedy tells it like it is. Yep, I appreciate him for that. I'm so tired of all the fake stuff. I was going to say that about the Pam Bondi and Cash Patel presser that happened yesterday. I forgot because I was too sidetracked about the press bitching about the lack of questions being taken. But I feel like those pressers are too formal to sit there and say thank you like you're at like MTV Awards or whatever and this, that, and the other. They spend too much time doing formalities and not enough stating the facts. They take like a 10-minute presser and turn it into 35 minutes because of the formalities. I like Kennedy because he's just right to it. He just tells you exactly what he's thinking. Nana, you voted for Kennedy? Hell yeah. He's awesome. First Amendment, worst president of any country in history. Let's go, Brandon. Yeah, he's the worst. Silver Wolf, he'll be a head in a jar like Futurama. Mm-hmm. Then we'll have to deal with old man Walter forever. Silver Wolf, I heard Biden's running in 2028. That's crazy. That is crazy. He'll be like 90 years old. What's up, Lion's Heart? Happy freedom to you. Lone Wolf, their house was spray painted with racial slurs also. Damn, I didn't hear about that. Yeah, that is bullshit. You know, this guy, he has a son get stabbed at school, killed right there. The person that killed him claims that he's the victim. Then he goes to the presser, gets escorted out by police. His house gets raided twice. The representative of the Anthony family call him a racist and basically say that he only showed up to follow this trail of racism, more or less. And then on top of all of that, his living son is a twin to the son that died. So every day he has to look at his son and have to relive the fact that his son's twin brother was murdered, and the murderer is calling himself a victim in the situation, and then the family made $500,000. Like, it's so it couldn't go any worse. It couldn't. The only way it'd be worse is if they came back and stabbed the dad in the heart and then didn't get convicted for that. Like, that's the only way it gets worse. Otherwise, they're screwing that family. It sucks. What's up, guys? Happy freedom. Lone Wolf, O'Keefe's gonna let out the Epstein files. If they don't, he's got receipts. I keep hearing that he's about to drop something really big, or he did, or something, but I don't know what it is yet. Shake and bake, happy freedom. Anthony's guilty as fuck. Yeah, he is. Yeah, absolutely. Lone Wolf, they banged down the windows and doors also. He needs to figure out how to hire security. What's up, Wayward? Happy freedom. Zero, I think the dad was there to pray for the family. That's what they were saying, but even if he wasn't, like, he was just there. And he's in a cast. Something's wrong with his arm or whatever, so I don't know. But they kicked him out and then made him look, or they talked about him like he was a bad person for being there in the first place. They bring it up in this video. I don't know, you're going to be rolling your eyes. I'm telling you, you guys are going to be rolling your eyes listening to this next video. For the text, he probably doesn't have money for security. They didn't get over $500,000. Yeah, I can't remember how much they were getting, but it wasn't nowhere near $500,000. More people donated to the murderer than the victim. Roy, it's not the real Biden? No, I don't. It's been a long time since we've seen the real Biden. That's terrible, Cody. Jesus loves us. Craig Kiss, good shall be evil and evil good. Last days scripture. Yeah, the last days take 200 years though, so we'll be dealing with this shit for a long time. What's up, U-Town? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Mike Engel? Happy freedom to you. No Wolf. Oh yeah, you're talking about Shiloh Hendricks. I just brought her up a second ago because somebody over on the website dropped a image of, she's at like $700,000 in donations right now. Yeah, because she said a racial slur to a little boy who was trying to steal something from her kid or whatever that was. They're trying to press charges against her for that. Like, they're saying, oh, it's hate speech. Yeah, well, hate speech is free speech. It may not be nice, but it's free speech. You can't arrest somebody for saying hate speech. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this next video. Like I said, Carmelo Anthony's representative says his family believes that he is innocent. Now, in this video, they're going to say, oh, this incident happened back in April, as if that was a long time ago. Like last month was forever ago. They're going to be comparing this case to Kyle Rittenhouse because they think that it's related somehow. Like, they think it's comparable. The family representative spends the entire interview dodging questions, doing very poor word selection, anything he can but answering the question. He refers to, well, he doesn't refer to him, but he talks about the victim's father as if he was a troublemaker. They also claim that this is the same kind of case as Rittenhouse, like I'm saying. So they're saying if Rittenhouse was able to get self-defense for what he did, then Carmelo Anthony is going to get self-defense for what he did. And they're trying so desperately to make that work. And I think it's because they think that Kyle Rittenhouse is some white supreme pizza who just got off the hook because he claimed self-defense. Now, we know that's not what happened. We watched Kyle shoot those people. Then a year later, we covered the trial. Every single day, every moment of the trial, we were there covering it. We all know what happened with Kyle Rittenhouse. He didn't just show up somewhere he wasn't supposed to be and then stab somebody in the heart and then run away and then claim self-defense. Kyle Rittenhouse was being shot at and chased at with weapons in the middle of a riot with people who were literally trying to kill him. They were taking shots at him. They were swinging at him. They were pointing guns at him. They were trying to get him, and he defended himself. Carmelo Anthony was somewhere he wasn't supposed to be, refused to leave, then tempted someone to engage in combat with him, and when they did, he stabbed them in the chest. This is not fucking comparable by any degree. Anyways, before we get into this, I want to remind you hooligans really quick, if you would like to join the membership program over on Rumble, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and using the Rumble app, you're unable to see that big red subscribe button. So you got to go to rumble.com, come to the live, hop in the chat, and like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you will see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops, and your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble hooligan. You'll have access to our custom emojis. We got chapstick emojis, scream and goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during the live, especially during a Trump live. So definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. Now, like I said, we're getting this video here with Carmelo Anthony. It's going to be a lot of eye rolling, a lot of exasperated faces. That's how it's going to be. It's going to sound dumb as shit, so be prepared for that. And hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube. Let's just divulge into this.
This is a case that has garnered national attention. At the center of it, 2 Texas high school students. 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony is accused of stabbing and killing another teen, Austin Metcalf, at a track meet back in April. Now, Anthony claims it was self-defense. The outrage stems from the issue of bond, and a court reduced the bond for Anthony from $1 million to $250,000, and he is on house arrest instead of being behind bars. Some say the punishment isn't severe enough. News Nation's investigative reporter Rich McHugh spoke with a representative for the Anthony family and why he's comparing it to another high-profile case of self-defense.
Good morning, Mark. Yeah, this case has become so polarized so quickly. I had the chance to speak with a representative of the Carmelo Anthony family, Mr. Dominique Alexander. I asked him about Carmelo Anthony. I asked him about all the questions and the controversy swirling around this tragic case and the recent comparison this man made between Carmelo Anthony and Kyle Rittenhouse. Take a look. Does Carmelo Anthony feel remorse over killing Austin Metcalf?
I've never asked him that question.
Do you have any sense?
I don't know. Have not asked him that question directly. I believe the affidavit expressed what he felt at that moment, and I'll leave it at that.
Do you believe Carmelo Anthony is innocent even after he admitted this to police?
I believe Carmelo has the right to be able to create the same legal defense that anybody is afforded under these state of Texas laws and Constitution. I believe if Carmelo wants to display his self-defense claim, he should be entitled in a court of law without interference. That's what I believe.
Does Carmelo Anthony's family believe he is innocent?
I believe Carmelo Anthony's family wants the process for him to correction. I believe that the Anthony family wants to respect this process and get him prepared for his self-defense claim. I believe the Anthony family feels that, yes, Carmelo Anthony is innocent of this, and they are going to support Carmelo Anthony in this entire process in getting prepared.
Would you agree that the Metcalf family is the victim here?
Any loss of life is a tragedy. Any child that loses his life is a tragedy, no matter the circumstance. That's my answer.
On April 17th, the family of Carmelo Anthony spoke for the first time. But before the press conference began, Austin Metcalf's dad, Jeff, says he was escorted out by police. Mr. Metcalf has said that he came there to pray with the family, but you had him removed. Why?
We wanted to give our children. I don't know anything about Mr. Metcalf coming to pray about the family. He never expressed that to any of the staff.
You said the father being at this press conference is a disrespect to the dignity of his son. That was disrespectful. Just shows you all the character. He was not invited. You say it was a disrespect to the dignity of his son. Do you want to clarify that?
You know, at that time, I'm not above reapproach or whatever. You know, it was high emotions at that time, and this whole notion that only one individual came up to him about it, that's a lie. You know, I don't want to attack this man. We asked him, we tried to, literally, this press conference was delayed an entire hour.
Oh my God, a whole hour.
Several times. They created this issue that literally didn't need to be.
You mentioned, you made a kind of analogy between Kyle Rittenhouse and Carmelo Anthony. Is there anything you want to clarify about what you said? Because it's causing quite an uproar.
Whatever uproar it wants to create, Kyle Rittenhouse displayed this was self-defense. And all my correlation is that if Kyle Rittenhouse said self-defense, Carmelo Anthony has the rights to self-defense.
I spoke with the father of Austin Metcalf, Jeff Metcalf, and while he didn't want to do an on-camera interview to rebut these claims, he did tell me in writing, the truth will come out, justice will prevail. Marky?
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and down.
Well, like I said, that's a lot of fun there. This guy is dodging questions. Big time. He's too worried about screwing up Carmelo Anthony's day in court, because if they make these statements and then they go to court, they're going to ask him about all these statements being made. They don't want to screw it up, so he's doing word selection real closely. But talking bad about the victim's dad is trash, and then trying to compare Carmelo Anthony's situation to Kyle Rittenhouse is crazy. Crazy different things between the two cases. Carmelo Anthony is a murderer. That's it. He is a murderer. He killed that other kid. He prompted him to start an engagement, and he killed him. There's no way that they're going to get self-defense on. There's just no way. There's no way. You don't stick your hand in a bag, hold the weapon, and then tell the person you're engaging with, I wish you would. I wish you would come over here and do something. And then stab them in the chest, kill them, and then run away. And then be like, it was self-defense. That's not how shit works. That's not how, it doesn't work like that anywhere. Otherwise, everybody would be walking around like, I wish you would. I wish you would. You would start an engagement so you could kill them and then claim, man, poor me. Poor me, man. Like, no, that's not how shit works. He's a murderer. And if anything, his family's just trying to make as much money off of him as they can. As soon as he goes to prison, they're going to be driving Cadillacs and shit. So they better wake up. Better wake up to the bullshit. That's what's going on here. Next up, chaos at Columbia. Anti-Israel protesters arrested after storming the library. There was more than 100 protesters. It was over Mahmoud Khalil, and 80-plus protesters were arrested. Badass. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about this update on Carmelo Anthony's situation. Guess he won't survive prison. Yeah, I don't think so. He's a skinny little guy. He's going to have a hard time. Snugs. Delayed an hour. That man's son is dead. Yeah, we had to delay the presser a whole hour. Oh man. That must have been real tough, standing there with $500,000. Russell, the two cases have no similarity. Yeah, they're like not at all. They are so desperate to try and make this look like self-defense. It's absolutely not. Russell, death row needs to be in that kid's future. I just want to see him be held accountable. I don't want to see him go to court and have him be like, oh, poor Carmelo Anthony. He's innocent. And you know what? We're going to make Jeff Metcalf, we're going to make him pay restitution because his son traumatized Carmelo Anthony by dying in front of him. You know, that's what I'm really worried is going to happen. Guess some dude's a tool. He is. What's up, Jay Spray? Happy freedom to you. Thank you so much, Patriot Dad, for that $5 donation over on Rumble. I really appreciate you, Patriot Dad. Thank you so much, and happy freedom to you. It says, went to my daughter's honor ceremony today. She got a $5,000 scholarship. So proud of her. Graduation is next Friday. It's bittersweet. Single dad, 18 years. My baby grew up. That's so badass, Patriot Dad. Congratulations. on your daughter's accomplishments. You're a badass. Happy freedom to you, and thank you for being here. Appeal to Evan Cowell. Rittenhouse was self-defense. Anthony isn't self-defense. Straight up kill. Yeah. Zupia, that person representing the family beat a 2-year-old nearly to death. I'm so sick of the community being cheered for being criminals. Yeah, it's no good. Yeah, I forgot about that. That guy who is supposedly representing the family, everybody was saying he's a bad person and all of that. So that's how ironic it is. Have somebody who's a terrible person represent a teenager who's now showing himself to be a terrible person. Like I say all the time, people get in where they fit in. Birds of a feather and all that. Appeal to Heaven, we should do the trial. I'm considering covering the trial. I was actually thinking about covering the Patrick Lyoya trial, but it's over. And we're going to talk about that coming up in a little bit. We have 2 incidents where cops had killed somebody. They both were going to court at the same time, both these cases. I can't remember where the one is. The one's here in Michigan. The other one is somewhere else. But today, in both cases, the cops that killed the suspect, they got off the hook in both cases. So I'm waiting to see if this is going to spark protests and stuff. Like I said, we'll get into it in a little bit. Energy Woman Rittenhouse also turned himself in. Yeah, that's true. Appeal to Evan. Still haven't seen any videos of the stabbing yet. Cops still have it. Yeah. I don't think the footage is out yet. I think once the footage comes out, if they actually have footage of the stabbing happening, I think that'll clear everything up. Pumpkin, he was such a good boy, wasn't he? Yeah, and that, every time. He's such a sweet boy. Oh, yeah. That's why he's out here committing crime. Appeal to Evan. Anthony was in his tent. He was asked to leave. He didn't. A couple people said he shoved him, and then he said, do it again and find out, and bam, used a 12-inch blade into his heart, not self-defense. Yeah, Appeal to Evan, it is not self-defense. Cody innocent? Are you serious? Yeah, they're out there spinning those stories. Pumpkin, Carmelo's family has raised a monster with no conscience. Conscience? Seems that way. Cody, he's a race hustler. Yeah, the representative is. What's up, Fitzy? Happy freedom to you. Energy Woman, the whole situation is tragic. Absolutely. Absolutely. For the Texan, and here comes BLM. I don't think they're going to do BLM. They're going to have to call themselves something else. I haven't seen BLMers in a long time. I think they're going to have some rebranding. All the BLMers that stayed BLM, they kind of turned into, what is it, pro-Palestine or free Palestine protest? I don't know what the hell they call them. Pro-Hamas protesters. All the BLMers that weren't done being protesters yet, they're now the pro-Hamas protesters. So I don't know if they're going to do rebranding or what, but I think BLM as a brand is dead. I just don't think it would do well. I think they'd have to come up with a new brand name. But they'll be marching this summer. I mean, it's inevitable at this point. For the Texan, they won't show the stabbing. They want the public divided. Definitely could be. What's up, Wayward? Thank you for joining us over here on Rumble. Patriot Dad, so much building up. Expect another riot summer like before. None of them by Trump supporters. Yeah, Patriot Dad, like I'm saying, I've been saying it for a couple weeks now. I think we are at a point where we are going to have a spicy summer. It's a Persian. Happy freedom. Yeah, they're pro-hummus. Appeal to Evan BLM back to Antifa. Yeah, and Antifa has been out. We played Antifa videos yesterday and the day before, but I don't think Antifa was out last night. Cody, I loved all those asshats at Columbia University getting arrested. Yeah, we got a video of that coming up. What's up, Mike T? Happy freedom to you. Appeal to Evan, crime does pay on GoFundMe. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about getting my GoFundMe going. Just go ahead and get that put together. Zero, don't attack cops, you won't get dead. Yeah, that's, words to live by. Guess some DA says the video won't be released until the trial. Yeah, I wonder when the trial is supposed to be. J Spray, hopefully they're stacking charges to make sure he gets charged. It's hard to say because all we got right now is these stupid pressers where they're saying that Carmelo Anthony is the victim. Nah, it was self-defense. Patriot Dad's trans Tifa now. Yeah, that's true. Trans Tifa. Done. Who hasn't done a little stabbing? I mean, I guess. Thank you so much, U-Town, for those bits over on Twitch. I appreciate U-Town. Thank you so much. Lone Wolf, Antifa's out in Seattle already. Yeah, I think. Yeah, yesterday we covered Antifa chasing an old woman. She had a cane and she was staggering along, and Antifa was telling her to kill herself. And that was out in Seattle for a Riley Gaines event that was going on. Lone Wolf, there's going to be jury tampering. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. What's up, Mary Beth? Happy freedom. Do you think the new Pope is a Bears fan? Probably, Mary Beth, considering he's from Chicago. I don't know, though. Jeff Reynolds, I'd say guilty if I was a juror. Yeah. I mean, he seems guilty. It may be different if they show you evidence, I guess, but the evidence would have to be pretty damning to spin this around to make it look like it was actually self-defense, because right now it does not look like that. What's up, Garden? Happy freedom. Where no matter what happened, Carmelo was in the wrong, even if they put hands on him. Yeah. He'd have to be getting jumped in order to use a weapon in self-defense. Because even a one-on-one fight with somebody else his own age, his own height, and all of that, he couldn't use a weapon in self-defense. It wouldn't be self-defense anymore. Either way, we'll see how it goes. We'll stay up to date with it, of course. Next up, chaos at Columbia. Anti-Israel protesters arrested after storming the library. Like I said, there's 100 protesters or something like that, and more than 80 of them were arrested. Hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
Dozens of mass anti-Israel protesters arrested at Columbia University after storming the school library.
Chanley Painter is here with all of the details. Good morning, Chanley.
Hey, good morning, Griff and Carly. So the NYPD was called to the scene some 5 hours after more than 100 masked anti-Israel protesters stormed the library at Columbia University. They shoved past campus security as students were preparing for finals, and they injured at least 2 public safety officers. The students said that the protesters demanded the Ivy League school divest from Israel. The protesters reportedly rallying in support of Mahmoud Khalil, one of the accused ringleaders of the pro-Palestinian protest at Columbia. Well, more than 80 people were arrested. All were students, according to the NYPD. And ICE is monitoring the situation. If arrests were made, the suspects were fingerprinted to determine if they were citizens or not. Secretary of State Marco Rubio warns the State Department Department is reviewing the visa status of the suspects, saying, quote, pro-Hamas thugs are no longer welcome in our great nation. And of course, this comes as the Trump administration canceled $400 million in federal grants to the university for not doing more to curtail acts of anti-Semitism on campus. So Columbia has agreed to some of those demands, guys, but we shall see what happens next.
All right, Chinley Painter, thank you very much. Let's bring in now Deputy ICE Director Madison Sheehan. Madison, thank you for being here. I want you to just quickly, if you can, react to.
Okay. Now, we've actually covered that woman that they just put on the screen. We covered her before. She's connected to ICE somehow, but she doesn't say anything. So the same thing Tom Homan says, we're going to get these guys. We're going to make sure that they're held accountable. We're going to do the thing. We're going to get these bad guys out of here. And then nothing happens. So I figured why watch that? Anyways, over 100 protesters were there. 80 plus were arrested. We'll see if they actually get convicted or not. All of them actually went to the school, which is new because last school year when there was pro-Hamas protesters building encampments at all these Ivy League schools, they were saying more than half of them that were being arrested weren't even students of the school. They were coming from other places and stuff, some of them from even outside the country, just to attend those encampments. So at least these guys were all students of the school. It'll be interesting to see what kind of accountability they get since they want to act like assholes. Next up, Florida Highway Patrol bust border crossers using a new law. Florida is really cracking down on illegals. Like, every state needs to do what Florida is doing right now. If they did, I think in 1 year we'd get rid of all the illegals. Because Florida, they are not messing around. They are doing a good job, in my opinion. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat. See what you hooligans think about these pro-Hamas protesters over there at Columbia U. Russell, is that woman really a man? I don't know. I don't think so. I just don't think so. It doesn't have an Adam's apple. Maybe it's been shaved down. I don't know. Jay Spray, it does look like this guy. I can't even think of what his name is, but yeah, it looks just like this guy. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's a woman. It's Jay Spray, it's hard to tell on that one. Yeah, it is. Russell, those protesters are lower than pond scum. Yeah. And they want the school to not support Israel anymore or something. I don't even know what they do. Like, well, how do they support Israel? And with the lefties, you never know. Support could mean that you don't hate somebody, right? You could be like, you like cats? You're like, well, I don't hate cats. They're like, oh, you're a cat sympathizer. Like, that's the way lefties are. They're a bunch of idiots. Appeal to Evan Pat. Boy or girl, we never know. Yeah. Patriot Dad, free flights to Gaza. Yeah, then they'd be pumping the brakes there. What's up, Resistance? Happy Freedom? Nope, hate is not illegal. What's up, Bucket? Happy Freedom to you. Pumpkin, they need to expel these students. Yeah. They're causing too many problems. Like, if they wanted to go protest out in the street, that'd be one thing. But to storm campus and make it the school's problem and negatively affect other students, that's what makes it a problem. If they go out in the street or they want to, go to their mom's house and do that shit, then great. But when you're doing it on campus that you got to pay to be there, which makes it not public property, don't be surprised when you get told to leave, And then in this situation, they stormed the library. In the situation we covered day before yesterday, they took over some engineering building or something like that. So, that's the thing, is they're crossing the line. They're not just protesting. They're, I can't even think of what I'm trying to say here. They're breaking the law to a certain degree. Bucket, protesters going to lose their scholarships? We'll see if they actually get held accountable. Totally carry, yeah, check for citizenship. Yeah, they've been busting them. They wait for these people to be arrested, and then they turn around and see if they have legal status or not. Bill Clay, $71,000 for tuition. Yeah, that's crazy. Resistance. Why do that here? Go protest in Israel. Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Sitting here screaming at a school about a country that's an ocean away does nothing. That does nothing. They're just wasting their time. Persian, demask all the cowards. Yep. Tree herder costumes for everybody. They love playing dress up over there. What's up, Aco? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Muskie Boss? Happy freedom to you. Mike T, more of a woman than me. I mean, yeah, you're right. Is Kick dead or what? Yep. What's up, C1? Happy freedom to you. Thanks so much, C1, for continuing the membership program over on Twitch for 32 months. You're officially a hooligan. And I appreciate you, C1. Thank you. Klaus Daniels, come here. Everybody wants to see you're alive. Come here. Cometh here. No, don't run away. Come here. Nah, he's too fat. He's too fat. I couldn't get him. I'll snatch him up next time he squirrels by. What's up, little Eagle? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Noblest? Noblest, last night I learned that Canada's a dump. Never would have thought. Why do you say that, Noblest? Lone Wolf. Whitmer just spent $200,000 on a vacation of using our money. That's interesting, Lone Wolf. Yeah, we'll have to check that out. This whole Patrick Leoya case that we're going to be getting into here in a second, she gave a response about the situation too. She claims that she kind of said something along the lines that she expects people to hit the streets and she just hopes that they remain peaceful. Like, great. We might as well have Tim Walz as a governor. Mary Beth looks like an insurrection. Yep, sure did. Alex Keene, due to the police doing nothing about it. Yeah. What's up, Andrew? Happy freedom. All right, Klaus Daniels, I got you. I got you. Oh, come here. We gotta show you off. Yes, yes. Oh, get the hooligan cat. Speak to the people. Let them know. Let them know. How you just gonna stare in the mic so intensely? You have no words? Well, you're a good boy. I don't know why you get stage fright. It's all that stage fright. He does all this damn talking, and he could tell when the camera's on, and then he gets all this stage fright. He needs to take a shot of whiskey like I do before I go live. Get rid of that anxiety. What's up, Agent O? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Tori Wayne? Happy freedom to you. Aco Rap Cat. Yeah. Hit a flow, Klaus Daniels. You act like you can't hear me. You hear me? Why are you grumpy? Why are you grumpy? Oh, so deprived. So deprived of the lovin's. You're a good boy. Anyways, let's go ahead and move forward here. Like I said, this next one is Florida Highway Patrol plus border crossers using the new law, which is good stuff. Florida is kicking ass. I wish all the states were doing this. We'd be cleaning things up. Hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
Fox News is getting an exclusive ride-along of a migrant bust in Tampa.
Dana Marie McNichol joins us now from the Sunshine State. Hey, Dana Marie.
Hi, good morning, guys. Well, immigration enforcement on the road is new for the state of Florida. They're taking a directive from President Trump. So we spent the morning with FHP as their operation took a dangerous turn.
We got one running across. Northbound, northbound.
A man ran from the Florida Highway Patrol after being pulled over for a traffic violation. When his legal status was questioned, he took off.
Come on out! Get out here right now! I see your hands! Come on out!
He was caught hiding in a nearby neighborhood shed. He was previously convicted for unlawful possession of a firearm and assaulting an officer, according to Border Patrol. For the first time, Florida troopers have the ability to question a person's immigration status on the side of the road. That wasn't always the case.
Every day, Florida Highway Patrol troopers would interact with people that were most likely here unlawfully, and there was nothing that we could do as state law enforcement officers.
Now, FHP is the only state agency in the nation trained and acting in partnership with federal immigration agents under what is known as the 287G agreement. And Fox News is the first to see it in action.
The van and trailer was originally pulled over for speeding, but Florida Highway Patrol officers say all 11 passengers are undocumented and now being detained.
Before the sun was even up, troopers had a total of 30 people in custody.
That's just here on a small stretch of highway in Hillsborough County, Tampa, Florida.
Although the operation could have lasted much longer, FHP said it was over within an hour because they were at capacity. They didn't have any more room to hold undocumented migrants. So, guys, this begs the question about detention space, not only here in Florida, but nationwide.
Dana Marie, I mean, how great is that? Sometimes you go on ride-alongs and nothing happens.
Exactly.
And you get exactly what they were looking for.
Foot chase.
It was a wild morning, guys, let me tell you, watching them all jump into action. But we were happy to be able to bring it to you this morning.
What happens if you said everyone in that van was illegal, they're detained? What happens next?
So then if they have final removal orders, they will be processed to be deported. And then if not, they will go through due process, the immigration judge, and then the process goes from there. So again, it's a lot about, yes, the mission is to find undocumented migrants, but then to keep them and have capacity space, that's the next step. And I know Governor Ron DeSantis has sent a plan to DHS to expand that in the state, and they're just waiting on some approvals.
Did they have a heads up? Or like, did the police have a heads up, or were they just pulling people over like the van?
So this was a Florida Highway Patrol criminal interdiction unit. So we went out in the morning and they were pulled over for normal traffic violations. So the van that I showed you there, they were going over 80 miles per hour. So when the trooper approached the van, they talked to those inside, and that's when they found out their immigration status.
Wow. Thanks, Dana Marie.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you got a guy with a weapons charge that's running through.
Okay, like I said, Florida's cracking down on illegals, which is good stuff. We'll see how it goes, though, because the part that I worry about is where they say they don't have enough room. One time I was in jail when I was 17. I was being a dumbass, as one does when they're in jail. And people were coming in and then leaving the next day. And there was people sleeping in sleeping bags on the floor. All the rest of us were in bunks. But there's probably 20 or 30 people sleeping in sleeping bags on the cement. And the next day they were gone. And I found out that it was because the jail was full. And if the jail's full, they just let you go. Like, you may still have to appear in court, whereas if you're an illegal, who says you're going to? But they don't make you stay in jail. They basically give you free bond. And so it makes me wonder what's going to happen with these guys if they're busting all these illegals in Florida, which they are really cracking down on. This is like the third day we've covered Florida busting border crossers. But if the area that they're storing these people is full, they're going to start letting them go. That's what's going to end up happening, because otherwise it'll be considered inhumane to keep them in these harsh conditions with lack of resources. And we don't want to see that. And there's a lot of places they could be storing them, but a lot of it is red tape. It's just whether or not they're allowed to do that. So what it kind of sounds like is they're going to get to a point where these holding areas are full, and they're going to end up letting these people go. Of course, they'll probably request that they come back and go to court, but who's going to say that they're going to, right? They're already here illegally. Why would they come to court? And if they don't come to court, where are you going to look for them at? Where are you going to go? You don't know where the hell they're from. So we'll see. This is good stuff. But they need to do something about detention centers so they know that they have enough room for these illegals. Next up, we're going to be getting into these cop situation. This first one is with Patrick Lyoya. It's titled Judge Declares Mistrial on Ex-Officer Who Shot Patrick Lyoya. Now, Patrick Lyoya was shot a year or two ago, maybe it was 3 years ago, here in Michigan, in Grand Rapids. I don't remember exactly how it went. He was either an illegal or he had just migrated here, one or the other. And you could hear his thick accent. He was already in some criminal trouble. I think his license was suspended. He was driving a car that I think had a bad plate on it, and that's what caused him to get pulled over. When he got pulled over, he immediately hopped out of the vehicle. The officer told him to get back in the vehicle. He did not do that. The officer approached him, and instead of forcing him back into the car, he just had a conversation with him, was like, hey, let me get your ID. You know, who are you? Where are you going? And the cop was being cool the whole time until enough was enough, and he was going to arrest Patrick. Patrick wrestled with him, broke free. The cop got a hold of him. They tangoed for a little bit. And I think he got the officer's taser. He tried to discharge the taser, and I don't remember if it had already been, I think it had already been discharged. I think the cop tried to hit him with the taser. It didn't work. Patrick got a hold of the taser. Him and the cop wrestle around. He ends up face down on the ground. Officer's on his back, shoots him in the back of the head, kills him. And if you want to see that body cam footage, I did go find it so you can have a reminder on who Patrick Lyoya is and what he did that ended up with him getting shot in the back of the head. I posted that on Discord as well as jeffmaclive.com, so you can go to either place if you want to see those videos to have a reminder of what happened to Patrick Lyoya. But coming up next is Judge Declares Mistrial on the ex-officer who shot Patrick Lyoya. Like I said, it's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about Florida Highway Patrol. J Spray, they need to release people locked up for petty charges like child support and such. Yeah, if they're going to allow real criminals to get free bond, but they're doing that because there's 6-7 dudes in there for child support or something stupid like that, then yeah, those guys should get out. But I don't know, the system is faulty, I know that. J Spray, stack them in the FEMA camps. Yeah, they should. You know they're there. The FEMA camps are everywhere. Russell, deport these people. Awesome. Yeah, they're working on it. And they tried to kind of allude to the fact that they're getting due process. They were like, well, they gotta get the order to be deported and blah, 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 because they didn't want left screaming, oh, no, where's the due process? Thank you so much, Patriot Dad, for gifting 5 subs over on Rumble. You're a badass, Patriot Dad. Thank you so much. Patriot Dad, I'm pretty sure I've seen ice in my city. See, I haven't seen them yet. I've been waiting to see if they're going to be around here. I haven't seen them yet. Resistance, send them to Alcatraz. Yep. Appeal to Evan, Alcatraz should be used for deportations. Yeah, and I wonder if Homan's going to help out with this, because I'm saying Florida is kicking ass. Out of all the states that are trying to bust illegals, Florida is kicking ass. I know Texas deputized their police force so they could crack down on illegals too, but I don't see a whole lot of information about what's going on in Texas. In Florida, it's all over the place. They want everybody to know that Florida is cracking down on illegals. Craig Kids, cartel invader felons. Yeah, monsters coming across the border. Ghostly, I still think they need to make a show to catch a Mexican, to catch a border crosser. They should definitely come out with something like that. We would cover it. We would absolutely cover it. Craig Kiss, yeah. There was a couple states that were talking about putting out bounties on illegals and stuff like that. I haven't heard any update on any of it though. CJ, he's on candid camera. Yeah, Klaus Daniels. He gets a little nervous. Thank you for the bits, CJ. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Happy Freedom Rich. Appreciate you being here. Lone Wolf get a slap on the wrist. They might do that just to cut them loose. All right, hooligans, we're going to get into this next one. Like I said, this is kind of the end of a situation. This is titled, Judge Declares Mistrial of Ex-Officer Who Shot Patrick Lyoya. Now, back when this happened, like I said, you know, the officer and Patrick Lyoya, they kind of scuffled and led to Patrick Lyoya being shot and all of that. There was protesters here in Grand Rapids for Patrick Lyoya, you know, justice for Patrick and all this, that, and the other. But they were bussing in protesters from Minnesota and Atlanta, I think it was. We had protests for 3 days, and after that, they couldn't afford to bus these people here anymore, so they were hoping the Michiganders were going to be pissed off enough to keep it going like the George Floyd days. That is not what happened. People did not care enough to go out there and do that. It was 3 days of protests, and on day 4, there was 4 people and 2 signs sitting outside of the police department, and that was it. Now, it does sound like the officer did lose his job. He's not a cop anymore or whatever. But either way, today was the last day of the trial, and this is how it went. Like I said, judge declares mistrial of ex-officer who shot Patrick Lyoya.
And I did receive communication from the jury that they're unable to reach a decision. I am going to have them come in to the courtroom to verify that, and we'll proceed from there. Who is the 4-person? Raise your hand. Okay. And so first I wanted to verify that that's true, that you're unable to reach a verdict as a panel?
Correct.
Okay. And so what I'm going to do is declare a mistrial in this case, and that means that you're all discharged. And so I'm going to send you back to the jury room just to await further instructions regarding transportation and that sort of thing. And
all right. Now, yesterday we covered a clip of this, and they were saying that he's facing murder charges. It was like second-degree murder, manslaughter, or innocent, and he got a mistrial. Now, if they decide to bring the charges back, then it'll be more tax doll hairs wasted. But the fact that they couldn't come to a conclusion kind of sounds like they're not going to bring it back. It's over from what it seems like. Either way, next up, we got another video in the same kind of tone. This next one is emotions run high after 3 former officers were acquitted in Tyree Nichols' murder trial. Now, in this situation, it's a little different. Okay, so in this situation, Tyree Nichols was pulled over. I don't even know what he was pulled over for. He was resisting arrest. He fled. He broke free and he fled. The officers ran down the street and they caught him. And when they caught him, one officer held him while the other officers took turns beating him. They beat him until his brain hemorrhaged and he died. They literally beat him to death, and it's all on camera and all of that. So if you need a reminder on what happened to this guy, that video is also posted over on Discord and over on jeffmaclive.com. So either way, you can get your reminder of who Tyree Nichols is if you go to either platform. Of course, Discord is free. You can go watch the camera footage of that to get a reminder. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about the officer that killed Patrick Lyoya getting a mistrial. Snugs, in my opinion, the 3 cops are pieces of shit. They could have been charged with murder. Yeah, I don't think the officer should have beat that guy to death. The Patrick Lyoya situation is kind of rough because you could tell the officer didn't want any of that to happen. He was being real cool about the whole interaction, and Patrick tried to flee, and it was all even when he fled, he was still trying to be cool about it. But once Patrick Lyoya started grabbing his gun and all that kind of stuff, it became a lethal situation. But with the video we're about to watch, I don't think those cops are good guys. Not at all. And I remember when it happened, somebody was saying that Tyree Nichols was banging one of the officers' wife or something like that. So they were gunning for this guy, and they finally caught him. And when they did, that's why they beat him till he died. is because there was some personal thing attached to it. Now, maybe that's bullshit. I don't know. But I know that's what people were saying back when it happened. Snooks, was Patrick handcuffed on the ground when he got shot in the head? No. No, he was trying to handcuff him and couldn't. J-Dog, they beat his ass hard. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, the one officer held him up while he was unconscious, and the other officers continued beating him until he died. For the Texan, if you beat someone so hard their brain hemorrhage, you're probably at fault. Yeah. Yeah. That's why it's like crazy that they didn't get convicted. What's up, D-Cat? Happy freedom. For the Texan, I remember this. They should have been convicted. Yeah, this video coming up. For the Texan, nothing like being tried for doing your job. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm kind of surprised that this officer with Patrick Lyoya got a mistrial. I thought they were going to give him manslaughter, and I don't think he, wanted to kill Patrick Lyoya. I think that it was a messy situation that ended the way it did. But he got a mistrial, so we'll see how it goes. Tree herder, meanwhile, idiot government chasing wild geese. Yeah, we covered a story not that long ago, a week or two ago, saying here in Michigan they're going to holocaust the Canadian geese. I can't remember how. It was like 200,000 geese they're going to try and gas to death because they're a nuisance or something. Kevin, it's going to be below freezing with wind chill tonight. I think it's supposed to be like that here too, Kevin. For the Texan, geese are mean. I don't think they're mean enough to holocaust them. Plukester, don't run from cops. I mean, yeah. Comply and don't die is what they say. Hooligans Island. Yeah, we were talking about the Pope in the beginning of the live. There's an article floating around kind of stating that the new Pope isn't a good person, but I don't know much about it. Corey Luca, happy freedom to you. Corey, look, are you talking about the cop from Michigan? Yeah, I haven't heard anything bad about the cop from Michigan. The one that shot Patrick Lyoya. Kevin, do they realize that those geese are tagged by the Canadian government? I don't know. I don't know what Whitmer's deal is against geese. She's racist against geese for some reason. I have no idea. Either way, we're going to get into this next one. Like I said, emotions run high after 3 former officers were acquitted in Tyree Nichols' murder trial. Now, like I said, if you don't know what happened to these suspects that were murdered, I did go find the videos so you guys can get those reminders. You can go to watch it at Discord, which Discord is free. Or if you got a membership for jeffmaclive.com, if you have a paid membership, you can go watch it in the news group. I pulled this video and the last video for Patrick Lyoya as a reminder to what happened to them. Either way, they're not going to show anything graphic in these videos. But this one is emotions run high after 3 former officers acquitted in the Tyree Nichols murder trial. The cops beat the suspect until he died. And like I said, I posted the article on Discord and the website. What you're looking for, if you do go look for the video, because the article has 3 or 4 videos in it, you're looking for the ones titled Surveillance Camera Captures MPD Beating on Street, and then it has a 2 next to it. If you see that, you will see exactly what they did to Tyre Nichols. So either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommiTube, and let's get into this.
Well, the verdict did shock a lot of people, devastating for the family of Tyre Nichols. Today, though, we're going to hear from the Nichols family. And Fox 13 Sheila O'Connor joining us live this morning ahead of a rally at the National Civil Rights Museum.
Yeah, the courtyard here right behind me, this space is where Tyre Nichols' family and supporters will gather. They will talk about the verdicts that came down, but they're also going to honor the life and legacy of Tyre Nichols. As you can imagine, a lot of emotions from both the Nichols family and the family from the 3 former officers that stood trial. I mean, you had Tyre's sister walking out of the courtroom in tears, but his mother, Rovon Wells, she stood tall, held her head up high, and had a very stoic look on her face. The family of the former officers, though, breathed a sigh of relief. Our cameras were actually rolling when the loved ones of one of the defendants walked out of the courtroom after the verdicts came down.
Thank you, Jesus Christ. Thank you, Lord. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
And of course, from there, just reaction poured in from state leaders, local leaders from city and the county. Memphis Mayor Paul Young and Memphis Police Chief CJ Davis released a joint recorded statement not long after that verdict came down.
Memphis is still healing, and that healing demands that we work together.
Policing in Memphis must always be ever evolving and continuously improving.
We also received a statement from the Nichols family attorney, Benjamin Crump. It reads in part, Tyre's life was stolen and his family was denied the justice they so deeply deserve. We are outraged and we know we are not alone. We thank the Memphis community and people across the nation who have stood by Tyre's family, lifted their voices and demanded accountability. Your solidarity has been a beacon of hope in this painful journey. And of course, that solidarity will continue this afternoon. 4 o'clock is when that rally is going to happen here at the National Civil Rights Museum. It is also going to be the first time we will hear from the Nichols family since those verdicts came down.
Yeah, got some reactions from State Senator Brent Taylor, who said he blames Steve Mulroy, the DA, said he can't win the big cases. Don't know how true that is, but he didn't win this case. So Brent Taylor weighing in on that.
All right. So, like I said, that's the case where the officers caught the suspect after fleeing, and then they held him up while the other officers took turns beating him, and they beat him until he died. There's also mention that they don't even know what he was pulled over for. They can't figure out why they even stopped him. And then they beat him to death, and then they didn't go to jail. They were not held accountable for their actions. The Patrick Leoya situation is kind of 50-50. It was a rough situation that turned out bad for everybody. But in this case, in the Tyre Nichols case, these officers just beat him until he died. And like, he didn't have a gun on him. He got pulled over. He didn't like slam his car into the police cruiser. He got pulled over. They pulled him out of the car. They're roughing him up, trying to arrest him. He was resisting arrest. He broke free and fled, and when they caught him, they beat him until he died. Now, what's kind of interesting in this case is in the Tyre Nichols case, all the officers were black. So there's no mixed race situation in this. So we'll see if, protesters kick off for this. But what I thought was really interesting is both these cases happened today. Both of them did. So in both cases, the officers got to walk after killing somebody. That could be the right kind of catalyst to spark some protests. And we already got protests because of Mahmoud Khalil, because of Carmelo Anthony, because of everything and anything, because of Elon, because of Trump. And now here we are. We got Tyre Nichols and Patrick Leoya added to the roster. Garcia, right? People are protesting for Garcia. The left has their idols. So That is that. Next up, we're getting a little bit light. That's the heaviest part of live there. We are past it. Whew. Okay, this next one is woman arrested after raccoon named Chewy was found with a meth pipe in the driver's seat during a police stop. The meth raccoon. Okay, it's coming up next. This is for real. Anyways, first, we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about this Tyre Nichols situation. Russell, is that reporter at a motel? Oh, that's the motel that MLK was shot? Oh. I was going to say, yeah, she's probably clocking in for her second job, but maybe not. J Spray Holocaust in the Geese has Whitler living up to her name more and more. Yeah, she's the Michigan Joker with her bright red lipstick. Resistance, arrest that raccoon. Yeah, they were trying to. Told Care, I back the blue, but draw the line at brutality. Yeah. Yeah. Kevin, why is there no protest about the cost of living? Because everyone who pays to live is too busy at work, I guess. DCAT, but what is overuse of power? I have questions, my friend. Yeah. Well, those officers that beat that guy until he died, that was too much. That was too much. And like I'm saying, for anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, you should go watch those videos that I posted on Discord or on the website, because it shows you everything you need to know to try and make a decision on whether or not you think these cops were good guys or bad guys. Appeal to having no trips to Memphis anytime soon. Well, if you go to Memphis, just don't get pulled over. The cops might beat you until you die. Oh, yeah, and the other thing was that I just remembered is those officers that beat that guy until he died, they were the first recruits after the police department had lowered their standards because they were having trouble hiring cops. So they lowered the hiring standard, hired like 8 cops, and I want to say 3 or 4 of them were involved in that case. Now, I don't know why they only talked about 3 of them, because I swear there was more than that. Even in the footage, you can see more than just 3 officers, but they were a part of that group that was hired in under lowered standards, and they let the cops go, and then they brought the standards back up to where they were. Kevin, Ducks Unlimited is going to sue somebody. Yeah, I don't know why Whitmer wants to Holocaust the geese. There's something wrong with her, I'll tell you that. Pictured that all their idols are criminals. Yeah, they are. Plukester, didn't they elect Kilmar Garcia as Pope? No, he's not Pope. I heard he's not at CCOT anymore, but I haven't seen anything about it. Hooligans Island, the left isn't going to come out unless they're getting paid. Well, they're already coming out. I mean, they've been coming out of the closet for a while now, but no, they've been hitting the streets the last couple of days. They're getting fired up. I really think that Mahmoud Khalil getting deported is going to really kick this off. A lot of people think it's going to be Carmelo Anthony getting charged as guilty for stabbing Metcalf, whatever his name is. I can't even think of his name, whatever. The track stabbing situation. So I think we just need a little bit more nudge, and then these people are going to be out in the streets. Xterra, dang raccoons? Yep. Smoking meth pipes. Wayward. When they beat Tyre to death, I thought we would for sure see a big riot. That side makes no sense. Yeah. I thought the same thing. When that footage came out that was showing the officers hitting him until he couldn't stand and then picking him up, his lifeless body, and watching them just continue to beat him, I was like, holy shit, it's George Floyd all over again. And then nope, nobody cared about it, and it's because the cops aren't white. I mean, that's really what it is. It was way worse. He died way worse than George Floyd did. like 1,000 times worse. And because the officers because they were not white, it was all A-okay. And like, that just doesn't make any sense. Snooks, I thought there were 5 cops and they all got arrested. I guess charges only stuck on 3 of them. Yeah, I thought there was more than 3 too. I'm not sure what happened between now and then, but yeah. Either way, we're going to get into this next video. Like I said, woman arrested after raccoon named Chewy was found with a meth pipe in the driver's seat during a police stop. Now, you know, he wasn't listening. That was the thing. He's a naughty raccoon. Come on, thing. Click the play button. There we go. All right. Come on, you goofy ass thing. It's embedded in an article, so it's behaving like a lefty. Anyways, hit that like button if you haven't already. Let's get into this.
Time now for Wait What. Danny New is here as we start with Cocaine Bear's long-lost cousin, Meth Raccoon.
Wait, what?
All right, we take you to Ohio, where Springfield Township Officer Austin Branham encountered something unusual during a traffic stop.
It's a pet raccoon named Chewy, which is already interesting, sitting in the car of the woman he just pulled over, but then Officer Branham spotted Chewy, I guess you can kind of see it, had a meth pipe in Chewy's mouth, and Chewy's owner was then arrested on drug charges.
More surprising is the car Chewy was found in, guys, was not a Ferrari.
That is maybe
Ferrari.
the most ridiculous story I've ever heard in my life.
Meth
a
raccoon?
pet raccoon.
Yep.
With
Most
a meth
Florida
pipe.
story in Ohio.
Raccoons are already kind of scary.
They really are.
They're very scary.
By the way, she also
I
had
would not give it
documentation that this was a pet raccoon. I didn't
What
even
kind of
get documentation.
Does the vet prescribe the meth?
I have
Was it prescribed
more
meth?
questions than answered.
Well, all I know is those reporters for ABC are dumber than a raccoon holding a meth pipe. Anyways, that's news. That's news. That's the meth raccoon. Either way, next up we got the last little bit of the news, and this is Lefties losing it. It's titled Cringe Boston Counselor. Is that really what it says? Yeah, Cringe Boston Counselor pleads guilty to federal corruption. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat real quick, see what you hooligans think about raccoon with a meth pipe. I mean, I never thought I'd be covering that in the news, but yeah, I ain't mad at it. Not at all. Russell, oh my god, I knew a guy that had a raccoon named George Cooney. Let's see, most spoiled coon in history. That's funny. We had a little baby raccoon when I was younger, before I moved here. It was just a little guy. We found him all by himself. We were throwing hay, doing hay bales and stuff, doing some work, trying to make some money in the summer. Came across this little raccoon, fed him rice milk until he got big enough to eat cat food, and then he was like this big old huge raccoon. He was hanging out with the cats because they think they're cats. The cats don't like him, but they like the cats. And it was fine. Eventually he got big enough to where he just waddled off into the woods and we just didn't see him again. But yeah, they're funny, and that's why I think it's funny about those stupid reporters. They're like, raccoons are scary. No, they're not. You ever seen a horse? The fucking murder horses. I don't trust them. I don't trust them at all. Raccoons aren't scary. Fucking sissy. Mm-hmm. Totally care. Still need justice for Peanut. That's right. That's right. Free the Texan Rocket fell on hard times. I guess. Caught him with that meth pipe. Shameful. Kevin, I don't think I want to see a raccoon on meth. They're already vicious. Well, how do you know the vicious ones aren't already on meth? That's what makes them vicious. Appeal to heaven. If you get a raccoon when it's a baby, you can train that raccoon as a pet, but the wild ones will attack you until you pull out a 12 gauge. Yeah, I'm sure that's true. In Michigan, you can't legally keep a raccoon as a pet, unfortunately. They're like funny little kitties. They're kind of like cats. Kevin, I had a pet mouse I used to carry around in my shirt pocket. Hell yeah. Pumpkin, poor raccoon. I know, he needs a little AA or a little Narcotics Anonymous or something. Appeal to Heaven, Springfield, Ohio. Oh, yeah, that was the other thing I was going to say about the video. They found that raccoon in the same place where they were eating the cats and eating the dogs and eating the pets. They weren't eating raccoons, and now you know why. It's because they're all on meth. Ohio. I don't know. It's Ohio stuff. DCAT, Civil War will never come. You want to know why? Because there's smart people on this planet that have faith. Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I remember back during the lockdowns, everybody always talked about Civil War, and they thought it would be like Patriots versus Antifa and liberals, but that's not what it'll be like. I don't know what it'll be like, but it ain't going to be that. That's just wishful thinking. Picture dead meth raccoons be scary. Yeah, I mean, I suppose with the meth pipe it could be. Kevin, the fall goose hunt is a big tourist dollars here, so maybe I should call my local MP, see if he could do something about that. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what Whitmer's beef with the geese are. Pumpkin, Whitmer probably thinks she's killing the bird flu. Probably. She's a dumbass. She likes to lick the lead paint or something. I don't know what her deal is. Dropped on her head as a baby. Silver Wolf, you're going to Dayton, Ohio. Be careful out there. You never know in Ohio. DCAT, my brother tried to keep a skunk. The DNR came down on us hard because it was at my house at the time. That's crazy, DCAT. Over a skunk. They need to chill out. It's just a skunk. Kevin, the raccoons here are huge because they eat potatoes and corn all summer and fall. Yeah, I could see that. Dudden, I ran into a raccoon when I was a teen. I was fishing and it came up to us. It ate chips and drank Pepsi from a can out of our hands. Weird day. Yeah, Dudden, that's what makes raccoons cool, though. They're like kitties with hands. I'm telling you, the only thing you can compare to a cat is a raccoon. Pumpkin, oh Fred, yep. My feed, Fred the raccoon was killed as well as Peanut. That's right. The feds wasted no time. No time. That person had Fred the raccoon and Peanut the squirrel in his apartment. They didn't take 20 years to try and make the arrest. They didn't take a million days to go and raid the house. They went there immediately. But if you're a border crosser or an elected official that's banging kids, oh no, we got to wait 20 years before you're going to have anything happen to you. That's stupid. Doesn't make any sense. Silver Wolf, they're messing around. Yep. H-Bick, raccoons are precious. I think so. Vinny C, raccoons don't bother me, but skunks do. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm not petting no skunk. Just, I ain't doing that. Hooligans Island, everybody showed their faith in the election. Yep, it's true. Xterra Rocket, another tragic Disney actor. Yep. Toy Mafia. I'm just reporting on the news. Where that was the worst body cam video I've seen. Yeah. When they're beating Tyree Nichols. Oh, Snooks, I don't know. I don't trust horses. Those horses, they'll get you. They'll get you. Tori Wayne, this world is backwards. The good get punished and the bad are free to do as they please. Yeah. It shouldn't be that way, but it is right now. Jay Spray got a raccoon on the property the size of a dog. It's got to be at least 25 pounds. Klaus Daniels is about 20 pounds. So, yeah. Russell skunks are cool too if they've been deskunked. I've only heard of that like in petting zoos and stuff like that. Tori Wayne, I had one buck me off 2 times, but I do love horses, just not that one. Yeah, well, it happens, Tori Wayne. What's up, Hair Juicer? Happy Freedom. You missed the meth raccoon. And you would have loved that, Hair Juicer. DCat, what is the band in the first place? What band? Pumpkin, I found a tiny black cat that was hit by a car. She isn't doing well. I call her Peanut. I'm sorry to hear she's not doing well, Pumpkin. Done. We had a mother possum get in and have her babies in our closet one year. That's interesting, Dutton. Yeah, possums are funny too because they seem all scary and weird, but I've never heard of anybody being attacked by a possum. They'd rather play dead than to try and fight you. They'll hiss at you. But I've never heard anybody actually like getting bit by a possum. Some people even pick them up by their tails. I think they're like the only marsupial we have in this area. I don't know. We got lots of possums and raccoons, but they don't bother me. Hair Juicer. That's something else. That's something else. That's I can't even read that out loud. You almost got me, Hair Juicer. You almost got me in trouble. Jesus loves us. Anyways, getting into this last little bit of the news before we get into the fun stuff. This is Lefties losing it. Cringe Boston counselor pleads guilty to federal corruption. Maybe they'll get a promotion. All right, we're going to hear Rita tell us how it is. Hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommentTube, and let's get into this.
It's time for Lefties losing it. Now, this is just maddening. First, the heartbreaking story of 2 young siblings missing in Nova Scotia for the better part of a week. Canadian police are beginning to scale back search efforts. They say there are low odds the children will still be alive. But listen to how they start a press conference into this tragic story with an inane land acknowledgement. This is Canada.
First, I acknowledge that we are in Mi'kmaq, the traditional and unceded ancestral territory of the Mi'kmaq people. I also recognize that African Nova Scotians are a distinct people whose histories, legacies, and contributions have enriched that part of Mi'kmaq known as Nova Scotia for over 400 years.
Yep, Canada, a country that has suffered enormous damage thanks to the far-left policies of the Trudeau government, and they just voted for more of the same. Let's look at a couple celebrating Mark Carney's big win.
Canada, you did it. You chose hope over hate, unity over division.
Trump, take note. This is what democracy looks like.
Mark Carney is the leader of Canada and what the world needs right now.
Someone that's ready to stand strong against Trump and defend democracy.
Tonight, Canada sent a message. Tyranny doesn't win here. Fear doesn't win here. Division doesn't win here.
Where's her eyebrows?
To save you from the dangerous weapon-grade levels of cringe of this following interview, a podcast featuring Meghan Markle, but alas, we must all suffer together. Here is Meghan talking to a woman called Jamie Kern-Lima, who seems to be even more fake and insufferable than the Duchess.
Very first question, because I think in friendship it's so important. And I think so many people also have this question for you is, Meghan, how are you? And are you okay?
That's so kind. I am. I'm better than okay. How are you?
I know you always make it about me. Today, which by the way, I just have to say, you are the most generous friend. You show up for your friends. Today, I just get to talk about you, which I'm excited about.
Yes, it really is that awful. The whole hour-long ordeal may have even been longer. I may have blacked out from smacking myself in the head. How else are you supposed to deal with tripe like this?
Oh my gosh, I work so hard and I I appreciate what hard work looks like. I like working hard. And I'm still working hard, right? The moment that everything sells out, it doesn't mean that we're done.
Yeah.
It means we're working on replenishment and what are the next SKUs and what's the next tranche of products and what's the timing on that and writing the newsletters and writing the social media captions and making sure that all that feels in line and what's the cadence of it and what's the photography that we want to do and what do I want to wear for those shoots, while also editing all the time-coded notes for season 2 of With Love, Megan, and then being in edits for the podcast and being a mom and a wife and a friend.
Yeah.
Those are all jobs.
Yeah, Megan wants you to know that she's so busy. She's got no staff. She's out there writing the social media captions herself. So busy. And don't forget, she's a princess too, and Harry is slaying dragons to rescue her.
You know, look what we've built. We've built a beautiful life and we have 2 healthy, beautiful children. And, you know, and I always think about it like the end of Super Mario Brothers when you get to the final level and what's the goal in Super Mario? They're like, slay the dragon, save the princess. I'm like, that's my husband.
Who is Harry rescuing her from? The family she abandoned before making him abandon his? But don't feel too sorry for Prince Harry. This is a middle-aged man after all. He's about 40. He chose to embarrass his family. He brought tons of grief to the ailing grandmother who supported him throughout his life, Queen Elizabeth II, in her final days. And he now wants to rewrite history.
You accuse members of your family of racism. You don't even...
Well, the British press said that.
Right.
Did Meghan ever mention that they were racist?
She said there were troubling comments about...
there was concern about his skin colour.
Right.
Does he think we've forgotten this diabolical travesty?
Concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
What? Who is having that conversation? There is a conversation. Hold up.
There's
Stop
several
right now.
There's several conversations.
There's a
about
conversation with you,
with Harry,
about how dark your baby is going to be.
Now it's time for some misandry. Here is a young lass who dreams of a world without men.
You men are not gonna like me for saying this, but you know what? I don't care. America, I think it's time we form a state where only women can live. No men allowed. Just an estrogen-filled utopia where we can all finally live in peace.
Oh, that sounds pretty boring to me, and I'm not sure which ladies are going to sign up to do these very necessary jobs. I think we need to see more of this oil rig work for education purposes, of course. Now, you may recall our favourite lefty losing at Boston City Councillor, Tanya Anderson. If you don't remember her, let's have a look at her previous work.
People are not innocent until proven guilty. People are guilty first. People are crucified. People are lynched. Same old tricks, same masters though. Fight, don't fight. What the do I have to do in this council in order to get respect as a black woman? I'm not afraid of anybody here.
Well, she's off to prison, folks. She's pled guilty to federal corruption charges, but remarkably, she hasn't resigned as a councillor while she reflects on her pain.
Tonight, Boston City Councilor Tanya Fernandez-Henderson says she loves her constituents and isn't sure when she'll resign. WBZ's Julie McDonald has the latest on the saga that has rocked City Hall.
To my constituents, I love you. I love you dearly.
Outside of federal court Monday after pleading guilty to corruption charges, Boston City Councilor Tanya Fernandez-Anderson said she's reflecting on her faith and practicing gratitude for the pain.
Joining me now is Newsweek's senior editor-at-large and...
Okay, that is Lefties losing it. And that is the last little bit of the news. We're going to get into the fun stuff here. Like I said, we got We will be opening today's door of the Advent calendar sent to us by Hair Juicer. Then we got our 2 funny videos of the day. First one's titled Inner Monologue Be Like. And our official funny video of the day is titled Taken the Musical. Both of those were provided by Stoner. Now, before we get into this, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Lefties losing it. Tori Wayne, stop saying you're black. Yeah, what is she? Is she mixed? Because I don't know. My siblings are mixed, and they don't look like her. So I don't know. I don't know. I think that they were just doing stupid stuff a couple years ago, and now everyone just hates them for a bunch of different reasons. So now they don't need to bring race up anymore. J Spray, we need to create a movement for TDS tramp stamps. We got to figure out how to make it cool so they'll all go tag themselves. Russell, 40's not middle-aged. Hell. Yeah, Russell. They're just being mean. That's all I know. Everybody's sharing horse propaganda here on the website. I don't trust them. J Spray, she's Kamala's twin sister. I mean, could be. Mike T, estrogen levels just went up. I couldn't imagine if there was a whole state of nothing but women. I don't know. I don't know. Would they all synchronize their periods? And if so, what would that week be like? Hell, they'd have a civil war at like a week out of every month. I don't know. I don't know what that would be like. Appeal to heaven, get that oil, boy. Yeah, he's working his ass off. I see a lot of those videos. People working on oil rigs and all that. It looks dangerous as shit, but I bet they make a ton of money. Dutton, you see O'Keefe's report about the Royals? No, but I think I did hear about it now that you bring it up. Somebody else brought up O'Keefe, and I couldn't remember. I know that there was something coming out that was a big deal, and I couldn't remember what it was. But now I do remember that it had something to do with the royal family. He got on video somebody that knows the royal family, and he was admitting that one of the people were like banging minors and stuff like that. I'll have to check it out after the live. If I can find a short version of the video, we'll play it tomorrow during the live. Hey, thank you for being here, Metal Mouth. Enjoy the rest of your day. Mike T, can't compliment each other enough. Yeah, that was hard to witness. Over there being fake nice to each other. I can't stand when people do that. Pumpkin, you don't like snakes? They scare you? There's funny stuff I could say to that, but I won't. I won't. I don't know. I'm not really bothered by snakes. I don't like giant spiders. Little spiders aren't that big of a deal, but we got big-ass wolf spiders that are like this big around, and they will fight you. They don't run away. They run towards you. You can see their eyes. It's not good. It's not good. I've shot one. It's hard to do. Most of the time you see them inside the house, you know, accidental discharge. It was done on purpose and whatnot, but either way. Tori Wayne, spiders are my kryptonite? Yeah. They're no good. Dutton, right-hand man straight up called Andrew out for it. That's crazy, Dutton. I'm going to check it out after the live. Hopefully we can play it tomorrow. Kevin, you hate spiders too? They're gross. Like, why did God make them look like that? So you knew that they weren't your friend? H-Big, she's insufferable. Yes. Guess who? We could have had Pope Jeff Mack, a.k.a. Pimpus the First. But no. Yeah, I know, Gessie. I don't know what they were thinking. They got somebody from Chirac. What's up, D Cope? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Derek? What's up, DP? What's up, DB Cooper? Happy freedom. What's up, Damon Walker? Damon Walker, you should play some of your music. I mean, we're playing the beats. I don't know if you guys can hear them. I have it set so you can hear me over the beats, but they're there. DP, African tribal kiddos in the royal family. Holy, that's terrible. What's up, Web Blanket? Happy freedom to you. Cooper, Oprah, change your wig. You know it smells terrible. It smells like turtle tank. What's up, Proud Patriot Girly? Happy freedom. What's up, Mares? Tory Wayne, the average salary for oil rig workers in the U.S. ranges from about $40,000 to over $100,000 per year, depending on the position and experience level. It's pretty good money. Hair juicer, it's performance based. You can easily make $250,000 working 6 months a year. Holy, it must be really dangerous if they're paying people stuff like that. We got wind turbines in Ludington, and they were constantly trying to hire people to go get trained for that job. I can't be up high like that. I don't like that stuff. I can't. I tried to do roofing once. I couldn't make my legs do it. I was like carrying shingles, and I get up the ladder, and then I get on the roof, and then I got to start spider crawling and stuff because I can't stand up because I don't like being that high off the roof. And I couldn't do it. I got to a point where my legs wouldn't walk anymore. I was just like standing there, and my legs are like just doing this. And I'm like, come on, legs. Do the thing, and I couldn't do it. And nobody was coming to help me, so it took me like an hour to get off the roof because my legs wouldn't do the damn walking. So I'm not built for being up high. No, I don't know. God didn't make me that way. Tory Wayne, they made spiders creepy looking, so we avoid them, I guess. What's up, David? Happy freedom. Be careful going to Portland, David. Be safe out there. Enjoy the rest of your day. Kevin, there's a video of a naked kid climbing out of the window at Buckingham Palace. That's crazy. I don't want to look that up for legal reasons, but that's crazy. David, spiders are beautiful. I don't think so. It almost made my Audi an innie. What's up, Cyberpunk? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Plastic Quack? Aiko, Mama said because the spiders are the devil. Appeal to having killed spiders with 22. That's probably safer than using 9. Told to care my daughter had a pet snake. I don't know. I'm not afraid of snakes, but I don't want to be bit by one. The little gardener snakes they're whatever, but I don't know. Stoner jumping spiders are awesome. Let's not do that. let's not talk about the spiders that can jump. What's up, Afro Man? Happy freedom. Wind turbine mechanics. Millwright. Is that what it is? I don't know. All I know is I couldn't work on those wind turbines. When I was delivering pizza, I'd go out to farm properties that would have wind turbines like on the property. And wind turbines look big when you're like driving down the freeway and you can see them in the distance. But when you're like on the property, you can feel the vibrations of the blades spinning like through the ground. So as you're walking, there's like this like tremors happening. And it's just like big, like whoosh, big, loud, like bassy sounds as the blades spin. I don't know. I couldn't live somewhere where they had big turbines like right on the property. It's crazy. The first thing I thought of when I first saw that, I was like, so this is what it would be like to have dinosaurs. Like, just giant things. Like, holy. Damon Walker, what about the spiders that drop out of the trees? Don't go down the river in the fall. I'm just saying. Yeah, and that is a thing here. We go disc golfing a lot. It's a big thing on this side of Michigan. And that's the problem. You go out there in the fall, and you'll just have spiders hanging and like caterpillar, worm, wax worms, and all of that. Just gross. Just out there with bugs. I don't like bugs. Not a big fan. Either way, we're going to go ahead and get into the fun stuff here. Like I said, we're going to open today's door of the Advent calendar sent to us by Here Juicer. And we got 2 funny videos of the day. But before we get into this, I want to remind you hooligans really quick. If you would like to support the live to keep us running, you're welcome to use the links in the description in order to send donations. You can do that by using PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Zelle, Venmo, Locals, Buy Me a Coffee, or you can even send crypto. Let's see what we get today. This has been quite the experience. We got 2 doors left. It looks like a house in Portland at this point. It's taken a lot to open these doors. Let's see what we get. Oh, there's something here. Okay. I'm just going to have to rough it up. I don't know why these later doors are not perforated correctly. Go sit down somewhere, Klaus Daniels, before I have to use my survival equipment on you. I got plastic for you. Come here. Yeah. There you go. Get that plastic. All right. Got a little paracord survival bracelet here. Or sorts. Maybe it's not a bracelet. Maybe it's for other things, connecting 2 points. But either way, very cool. Let's put this. I'm going to attach it to the one I already got. I've got a couple of these little hooks here. You guys love these because they're called something racist, whatever these are called. Anyways, oh, there we go. Badass. Thank you, Hair Juicer. Heck yeah. Let's get into these funny videos here. Like I said, both these were provided by Stoner. What the hell? I don't remember what this is. It's going to be fun for all of us. This one is titled Inner Monologue Be Like.
What are you thinking about?
So during the Las Vegas shooting, Stephen Paddock supposedly expended over 3,000 rounds of ammunition over the course of 10 minutes from 27 AR-15s, each equipped with bump stocks. But that would have required him to drop a gun for another after each 30-round mag was empty and then reload each of the 27 ARs at least 4 times over. That's even despite the fact videos from survivors show a non-stop stream of bullets at a fire rate much higher than that of a bump stock AR-15 and resembling more of a fire rate similar to that of an M240 light machine gun. And investigative photos of Paddock's hotel room where he shot from only show 50 spent shells. And what about once when the FBI took over the investigation, Paddock's house somehow burnt down and destroyed all the evidence, and years later America's mass shooting is still ruled to have no motive. And even after Paddock's brother went on air claiming nothing made sense, the following day he was arrested for possessing several hundred terabytes of child porn on a 20-year-old computer running on Windows 95. It all doesn't make any sense. And this is according to the FBI? Nothing. Nothing.
Yeah. Nah, I ain't thinking about nothing. Don't you worry. Either way, let's get into our official funny video of the day. Now, I hate this movie, but the musical's not that bad. This is Taken the Musical.
I don't know who you are, I don't know what you want. If you let my daughter go, that'll be the end of it. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you and I will kill you. What I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I have acquired over a long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you, I don't know who you are, I don't know what you want. If you let my daughter go, that'll be the end of it. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you and I will kill you.
Fantastic. Well, hooligans, that is all the coffee I had for you guys today. Grab this Linktree link really quick, drop it in all the chats. We're going to read through. We got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up next. Good stuff. And so I don't really like the movie. I don't like movies about human trafficking. I don't like any movies that show rape in it. Like 300. 300 was a badass movie. Until the dude's wife got raped at the end. And it was like, oh, thanks for fucking that all up. So now I can't even watch anything like that. Like Taken and all that. But the musical's good. The movie, I don't know. Anyways, there's the Linktree link where all of my links are listed. So if you'd like to make donations, join membership programs, or purchase any merch, I would really appreciate it. All of your guys' contributions keep us running every day except for Sunday, because we've got to have a day to recharge those batteries. Definitely go join Discord. Discord is our free hooligan community. It's the best way to be notified every single time we go live. The hooligans are there keeping the conversation going 24/7. And we have 2 news boards to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. So definitely go join Discord. If you're feeling real saucy, go join jeffmaclive.com. We currently have a free membership available now. It will give you access to your profile, your timeline, and the forums. But if you get a paid membership over on jeffmaclive.com, you can come hang out with us in the live chat where we have more ability than any other platform. You can post memes and GIFs and custom emojis and links and all kinds of stuff right there while watching the live. You will also have access to Hooligans Alley, which is our private social media area. You'll have access to the forums, the arcade, and our advanced messaging system with the built-in group chats. So definitely go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com. It's the home of the hooligans. Like I said, we're going to read through really quick, and we got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up next. What are you doing, Klaus Daniels? I think he found a bug. I don't know what he's doing. Anyways. Russell, that musical's a bit freaky. Yeah, it's something. Oh, I'm hoping for the best, Zero. Russell, you like the movie Taken? I like that he gets his daughter back and all that, but she's so screwed up by the time he gets her. She's all doped up and God only knows what's happened to her and stuff. I feel like it doesn't really have a good ending. Like it does, right? He smokes all these people, he gets his daughter back, but she's fucked up for life now. She's out here voting for Harris and selling her hoo-ha in the street for $20. You know, like that's not a win. That's not a win. I got to the end of the movie and I was like, he should just let them keep her. She's fucked. Like, that's not right, but I don't know. I just don't like that stuff. And then you guys suggested some movie. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was The Rock. No, it wasn't The Rock. That was in Alcatraz. There was some movie you guys suggested. I watched a trailer to it yesterday, and it was just like the movie Taken. It was like somebody got picked up for human trafficking, and he had to go find this person. I was like, no, I'm not watching that shit. I do not like watching that kind of stuff. I just don't. I got enough problems. Worry about fictional characters and shit. Klaus Daniels. What are you doing? Every time I yell at him, he just starts cleaning himself. He's like, nothing? I'm doing nothing. Oh, okay. Thank you, MU. Appreciate you being here. I appreciate you too old to care. Yeah, appeal to heaven. I hope yesterday's birthday kicked ass. Thank you, Pumpkin. You're the bestest. Bill Clay, then you win like Clockwork Orange? Yeah. I don't know. I just don't like that stuff in movies. Papa Bones. Seen evidence of unauthorized helicopters in the area of Las Vegas shooting. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know if we'll ever hear the truth about what happened with that. What's up, Turbo? Happy Freedom. Bill Clay, did you get a can of anti-spider repellent? No. That's what the 9's for. Mike T, can robots be programmed to do roofing? Probably to a certain degree. I don't know. I I don't think robots can replace us. I don't think AI can replace us. I know people worry about that stuff, but I just don't. Technology is so damn stupid. Thank you, Rappy. I appreciate you being here. Enjoy the rest of your day. Happy Freedom Meta. Thank you for joining us. Afroman, you're a, is it a mechanist? A mechanist? I'm trying to think where we're going with this. An alchemist. You're an alchemist, Afroman? You ain't messing with wind turbines? I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either. Get all the way up there just to die. No, thank you. DP, I hated the extended rape scene in The Natural Born Killers. Yeah, I don't think that stuff is necessary. Even just sex scenes. I think sex scenes in movies are unnecessary. It's like, you could allude to it, right? These two adults giggle, sneak off into the room, maybe weird sounds or something for 2 seconds, and then they come back all disheveled. That's one thing. But when they're like showing sex in movies, like in The Matrix, and they get back, right? They get back to Mecca or wherever the hell they're at, and then they all go to their little huts and they have that dance party and they're showing the dance party, but then they cut to scenes to Neo banging what's-her-face. Why? Why show that? That doesn't help the movie at all. That doesn't have nothing to do with being badass. Like, I don't know. I just think that stuff is trash. I think it's unnecessary to put that stuff in movies. It's just my opinion, though. I know I'm just creating reasons for you guys to hate me, but I just think it's unnecessary. What's up, Spirit Matter? Happy Freedom to you. What's up, Cinderella? Happy Freedom to you. You missed the whole live. You hooligans are late. We were disheveled. Yeah, I don't know. I was onto something there. Jay Spray, I will never trust a HJ or a BJ from a robot, so definitely can't be trusted. Yeah, Jay Spray, I agree. I agree. Tori Wayne, I agree. Too graphic. It isn't cool. Yeah, it's not. I don't know. It's unnecessary. Jay Spray, I hate sex scenes when I'm watching movies with my wife. Be like, is it okay to look? That's different. That's avoiding punishment is different. Josh 1776, I fell asleep. Did you get a gun from the box yet? No. Hirachisa removed it before he sent it to me. Hope it was something cool. Stoner, I like when they bang in movies, especially if they show boobs. I don't know. I just remember sitting there with like my mom or like my grandma or my dad. You're just sitting on the couch and you're watching this movie and everybody said the movie was really good. And you're like, yeah, all right, we finally get to see it. And come back from Family Video or whatever. And then it's just tits on the screen. And then everybody just feels nice and weird. Like, no, I don't like that shit. I just don't. I don't know. To each their own. Appeal to having to watch 50 Shades of Grey. No, I don't watch that goofy shit either. I just don't. That stuff is fake to me. They showing women getting their ass whooped or pretend kidnapped and all this stuff to be sexual and da-da-da. Women don't even really like that stuff. They think they like that stuff until you try to do that shit to them, and then they're like, what the fuck are you doing? You're like, I'm fantasies. They're like, no, don't do that shit. It's bad advice. That's what it is. It's bad advice. They want 50 Shades of Jeff. They can sign up whenever they want to. They don't want these problems. What's up, Electric Hammer? Happy Freedom to you. Show the bobs and vagine. Yeah, no, we ain't doing that here. We couldn't. We get in trouble. Meta, got the dentist today. I hope that goes smoothly for you. Or if you already had to go through it, I hope it went smoothly. Cinderella, ew. I know. You crack me up. Yeah, I watched 5 Shades of Shade. It was all midgets. Holy. It's terrible. That is terrible. So all the care, sex scenes get awkward when you watch with kids, even adult kids. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I don't know. What does it contribute to the story? All right, hooligans, it's that time once again. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, hooligans, we did the thing. We're going to read through the chat one last time just to make sure no hooligans are left behind, but we are wrapping this up. We'll be live again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Snooks, the 50 Shade movies were terrible, but the books were better. It's because you guys like reading all that smut for whatever reason. Zero, what'd you get from the advent calendar? This thing. This thing right here. Paracord with 2 clips on it. You guys are always calling it something racist, but they're just clips. That's right, Nana. Play ball. Thank you, Pumpkin. Much love to you. Thank you, Appeal to Heaven. Shroomish. It's the perverted producers. That's why. Yeah, Shroomish, it is. It is. Stoner. They show boobs, and in my family... wait a minute. They show boobs in a family movie, and me and my dad high five. I don't know, Stoner. I don't have that kind of relationship with my dad, I guess. Turbo, 50 Shades of Jeff. You only get that on the website. Yeah, and you got to have the world-class hooligan account. 10 Man, he's seen more than he wanted. I wish 10 Man was here. Holy. Electric Hammer. Go Tigers from Galveston, Texas. If you say so, Electric Hammer. Oh, yeah. Okay, hold on. I'm going to write you right now, Josh 1776, because I was going to write you yesterday and I got sidetracked. Let me find you. I think you got... Well, no, I'm the admin. I was going to say, I think you got to accept my friend request. No, you don't. We ain't even got to be friends. I'm forcing you to take this message. It just says hello, but yeah. Yeah. Hey, thank you for being here, Tori Wayne. Zero, let me find you. Yeah, that's what I do. Patriot Dad, when my daughter turned 16, I showed her Kids, uncomfortable, but had an impact on her. I've never even seen that, Patriot Dad. What's up, Frank? Happy freedom to you. Good luck to you, Meta. Hope it goes smooth. What's up, Ava? Happy freedom to you. Fucking hell. That's a hell of an entry statement there. Thank you, Cinderella. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Teasel. And happy freedom to you. Turbo Goat. Those cops were definitely guilty. However, I don't really care anymore. Let me see. Well, it just depends. We covered 2 different incidents. One, the police were bastards, and they shouldn't have beat that guy till he died. The other one, Patrick Leoya and Chris, the officer, that was just a shitty situation where there was no winners. That's just my opinion, though. People haven't. I do. I constantly add movies to the wish list because you guys are always telling me different ones. Picture Dad's a good movie about consequences for your actions. Yeah, gotta teach kids that because they sure as hell don't figure it out on their own. They just think the world's mean. Thank you, Zero. Tori Wayne, the verdict of the officers is a scary one. They're above the law. Yeah, Tori Wayne. It is crazy that they didn't get charged after doing that. All right, hooligans, like I said, we're wrapping this up, but we will be live again tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. I appreciate all of you guys being here. Thank you for being here and covering the news with me and making it as fun as possible. Go out there and enjoy the rest of your day. Find yourself some good food, and I'm going to do the same. I think I'm going to have some hash and eggs today just 'cause breakfast for dinner, right? Why not? Either way, make your way back to us tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you guys, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support, and I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.